Back there? Just bring him on up because you may, if you want, I don't know if you want to call your client as a witness, but he has a right to be here.
I do, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Again, for the record, Benjamin Jones, on behalf of Jonathan Standard. Procedurally, Mr. Standard was arrested on a fugitive warrant on February 25th. 30 days, I believe, expires tomorrow on this matter. We're asking for the court to set him a bond so that he can essentially self-extradite and save the government some time and money. I'd like to take some testimony from Mr. Standard.
All right. All right, Standing, you raise your right hand and be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, counsel, you may proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Standard, what were you doing when you were arrested on this warrant?
I was going to pick
You're
up.
going to have to speak up.
I apologize. I was going to pick up my dogs from the animal control.
All right. So you were not arrested for some Florida law violation. It was just this warrant. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
All right. And how long have you been living here in Florida?
I was born and raised in Florida, but I've been back in Florida for about 8.5 years.
And for the past 8.5 years, ever been convicted of anything?
No, sir.
All right. And what sort of ties to the local community do you have here?
Ties meaning what? Like?
You got any family that live here?
Oh, yes, sir. I have sisters and brothers that live here. I'm a licensed EFI priest, so I have a whole religious house, which I consider my family that is here. I really don't leave Florida anymore. Like, I'm a Florida resident.
Okay. And whereabouts in Florida have you been living?
I live in Orlando, Florida.
How long have you lived here in Orlando?
Since I came back, since I returned, so 8.5 years.
8.5 years. Okay.
I was really only in Virginia, not even really that long. I was in the foster system until I turned 18, and then about when I turned 21, I returned back home. 21, 22 years old, approximately, I came back home.
Okay. And you've already signed a waiver of extradition rights today. The thing, paper you had you signed today, right?
Yes, sir, correct.
All right. So that's saying that you've already agreed to voluntarily go back to Virginia if needs be, correct?
Yes, sir, correct.
All right. And if the judge were to give you a bond and you were able to post it, is that what you intend to do?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Do you have a passport?
No, sir.
All right. Do you have any significant family members that live outside of this country? I'm not talking about like third brother once removed, but.
No, sir.
All right. As to this issue, defense has no further questions.
Stay, you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, I know that this sort of procedurally is a little bit of an odd type of case, doesn't come up too frequently. So I provided you in the packet of motions and statutes with relevant portions of 941.16.17, and I don't want the court to confuse my giving you an order that was signed in a different case as something saying you have to do this. It's just an example of tools you have at your disposal.
One question procedurally, your client just testified that he waived his right to extradition.
Right,
My
Judge,
understanding that, say, like, he didn't waive, and their state of Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia was seeking a governor's warrant from the governor of Florida, and that's the reason why he hasn't been extradited is because he didn't waive.
Yeah, Your Honor, just for the record, Angela Salvato with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Initially, when this defendant was arrested, when we tried to bring him down for interview and signage of the waiver, he was under quarantine, so he wasn't able to come down. So we had to notify the other state as if he was contesting, because the fugitive charge in itself, without the 30-day commitment order and then subsequent 60-day recommitment order, would expire. So the other state had to have footing in which to issue their governor's warrant, should they need to. So they went ahead and proactively started to do that. This defendant was brought down today for a 30 days to see if he was going to sign his waiver, or if we were going to have to seek a 60-day recommit on behalf of, I think it's the state of Virginia. But today, in front of counsel and myself, the defendant did sign a waiver. That is not one of the waivers that you've already signed.
All right.
So procedurally, Your Honor, he's signed that because he's not contesting this warrant does relate to him. He's just saying that they need to come get me. I want them to come get me. And it's been 30 days. I know that COVID changes everything, but it's been 30 days, and he has the desire, the willingness, and the reliability. And he's not wanted on any crimes here. I believe the warrant from Virginia is extremely old, too. It's been out for, I think, 8 years.
If I'm not mistaken, and the court has my copy of the warrant, I believe his warrant was issued, it might have been in 2013. It was on a violation and a suspended sentence.
Yes. So this is not something that he's been hiding from. It's something that has been out in the open. And Virginia has had a very long time to come and get him. And now that they've known where he is, and specifically now for the past 30 days know he's here, they still haven't done that. Give him the opportunity to speed the process along, post a bond, and go up and turn himself in. The example order that I gave, Your Honor, from Bartow Myers gave 15 days for someone to turn himself into Louisiana. Virginia is a little bit further away than Louisiana. I'd request 30 days. But the statute gives up to 60 days if you want to give that sort of thing. Yeah. And there is another more sensitive issue that if the prosecution and I could approach on that issue, Judge.
Concerns about the plea that you're entering that you'd like to ask the court or your attorney before I accept your plea?
No question at all. Any questions I've already had, you've already answered for me.
And so are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Thank you, sir. I do find that you're alert and intelligent. You understand the nature and consequences of your plea. I'll accept your plea to violation of probation, and I will follow the recommended disposition. At this time, I adjudicate you guilty. I'm going to order that on all charges, I'm going to order that you serve 30 days in Orange County Jail. You will waive all credit time served pursuant to the...
All right, counsel, I'm going to give you my concerns, and I'm going to let the state and you respond to those. The warrant from the Commonwealth of Virginia is from 2013. However, between 2013 and today's present date, he has been active in this, as far as his criminal history here in Orange County. He's had at least 2 failures to appear that I can see on his criminal history. So maybe not back then, that might have been an issue if he responded right away in 2014, or 2013, even in 2013 when the warrant was issued. But in 2014, I see activity. 2016, I see activity. All the way into almost, I think, 2019, where I see activity. So I just want to let you know what my concerns are in getting your request that he's going to go to the Virginia and appear. So, State, what do you have to say as to what the council said and what the court has raised as its concerns?
Your Honor, the state shares the same concerns regarding its history. I do see the same history that you're seeing in 15, 16, and I believe 14 as well. So all dates after this warrant was issued.
No.
That's all, Your Honor.
And what are you asking me to do? Are you agreeing that I should set bond? Are you saying I should hold him for a recommitment order?
Your Honor, on behalf of the demanding state, they're asking us as the asylum state to continue to remand him and grant a 60-day recommit, allowing them the additional 60 days to either obtain the governor's warrant or to allow, since he did sign a waiver, for you to honor that waiver, in which case they would have per admin order 30 days to come and pick him up.
Correct. All right, so, counsel, I can give you the last word if you want it.
Yes, Your Honor. Although I'm not sure the specifics of what happened in 15, 16, and 14, it sounds like the state of Virginia has had multiple opportunities to come and get him. If he had open cases in those years that apparently didn't result in convictions, I don't really know exactly what those are. But they've had multiple opportunities to come and get him, to come and execute this ancient warrant, and they haven't. So it seems as though the state of Virginia has demonstrated their lack of willingness to come and get him. So it seems like the interest of justice would be served by giving him the opportunity to do it himself.
All right. All right, counsel. If he was able to do the interview when he first got here, it probably would have, this issue would have not been an issue. But since we live in our new COVID reality, it seems that the appropriate thing to do is to give the Commonwealth of Virginia the time that they requested. So I'm going to order that he's held on a recommitment for an additional 30 days. Since the waiver signed, they should be here relatively quickly now to come pick him up and transport him back to the state of Virginia. The type of warrant that it is similar to me, like a violation of probation, essentially. He did not comply with the conditions that were set out in his sentence, and now they're looking to re-sentence him, which would be similar to what we call probation here. So based on that, the court is going to hold him for the additional 30 days, and hopefully the state of Virginia will be here to see him quickly.
Your Honor, may I approach with the waiver?
Yes, ma'am. And then you got Mr. Williams, correct?
Mr. Thomas.
Thomas, I'm sorry. William Thomas, I think.
Yes, Your Honor, that's the next one. For what it's worth, Your Honor, Mr. Standard would be willing to go on GPS monitoring or anything like that.
I can't hear you.
I said, for what it's worth, Your Honor, Mr. Standard would be willing to go on GPS monitoring or anything like that, just to give him the opportunity to
Well,
travel himself.
I suggest you advocate that we have that capability again.
Yes, Your Honor.
Since it was taken away from us some years back.
Thank you.
Have a great day, sir.
Thank you. You're here this morning, you were put under a sanction because you tested positive on a UA. The sanction is,
Morning, Your Honor. Benjamin Jones, on behalf of William Thomas.
so that's why we had you report here.
I'd like to swear Mr. Thomas in and take some testimony.
All right. Sir, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. Say your name and spell your last name, because I forget to tell him doing that for the court reporter.
William Garnett, Thomas, Thomas.
All right. Have a great day, sir. All right.
Thank you.
Tell me what you got going on, sir.
Mr. Thomas, what were you arrested on when you were arrested here? Just a fugitive warrant or?
It's a fugitive warrant.
Okay. And when were you arrested?
It was a Friday. I think it was the 25th of last month.
That's correct. It was the 25th of last month. So you've been here for nearly 30 days, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. What were you doing when you were arrested?
I was about to go cut yards. I have a landscaping company.
All right. So it wasn't like you were a suspect or pulled over or anything like that?
No,
Okay. And how long have you been a resident of Central Florida?
3 years.
And have you lived in the same place for those 3 years?
Yes.
Who do you live with?
My wife, Jessica Thomas, and our kids.
How old are your kids?
12, two 12 twins, 13, 14, and a 17-year-old.
Now, this warrant pertains to something in the state of Pennsylvania, is that correct?
Correct,
Do you have a lawyer up there?
correct.
What's that lawyer's name?
I'm not sure. My wife hired him.
Okay. But you've retained counsel up there?
Correct.
All right. And during the time you've been living in Florida, have you had any convictions for anything?
No,
Had any failures to appear for anything?
no,
Do you have any idea what the warrant is about up there? Not just the names of the charges?
no.
Okay. How long has it been since you've been in Pennsylvania?
I've never been in Pennsylvania, ever.
Now, if you were to be released, tell me about your intentions about turning yourself in.
If I'll be released, I plan on going to get an airplane and go to be in Pennsylvania by Monday. Just get it over with.
And is that the advice that you've been given from your lawyer in Pennsylvania?
Yes,
All right. If you were to hear his name, would that spark your memory of who it is?
I'm not sure. I don't even think she ever told me the name because
Okay.
I didn't even know your name, sir.
Fair enough. All right. And tell me about some medical issues you have right now.
I have high blood pressure, and I have had strokes before in my life.
Okay. So is facing the confined spaces of jail transports from here all the way up to Pennsylvania something that gives you health concerns?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I'm going straight there and get this over with if I would be released.
And tell me about some dietary restrictions you have.
Well, I don't eat meat, and unfortunately, they haven't been feeding me in here. They told me they don't give vegetarians out, so I just eat bread. I've been eating bread. I probably lost about 30, 40 pounds since I've been in here. I just eat bread and drink water and get my commissary.
All right,
They don't give dietary trays out.
do you own a passport?
No,
Do you have any family outside of the United States?
no.
I have no further questions.
State, do you have any questions for the witness?
See if there's a possible resolution. You say it's gonna be dropped, so it may just happen to go away. I don't have any information in front of me right now, and I'm guessing that,
You gotta get the microphones turned away from you.
Just one, Your Honor. What is your address here in Orange County?
1238 Sassy Way, Apopka, Florida.
And can you spell the road name?
Apopka, Apopka, Florida.
They want you to spell sassy.
Oh, Sassy.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Your Honor, defense has no further witnesses. I'd move to argument.
Just one question. Looking at his history, is he required to register here in the state of Florida?
I'm unaware, Judge.
I was told it's no.
I just want to make sure, because if I'm going to order your release, I want to make sure that you're not going to be in trouble because I didn't
No.
tell you to do something you're supposed to do. All right.
Hearing nothing from any member of law enforcement or the prosecution, I'm going to agree with,
All right, I just want to make sure because that's easy to get caught up in based on the case I see from Baltimore.
yes, Your Honor. Same situation here. He's agreed to voluntarily to take himself there. He has every intention to do it. He has a lawyer up there. He's been advised to do that. He's been here for 30 days for who knows what reason, given the coronavirus. But he's here now. He has the ability to afford transport and to get himself up there. He's not a flight risk. He's got family here, and he's got, I can give Your Honor the name of his attorney up there. I know he doesn't know it, but as an officer of the court, I can refer that to you.
Is this another case where he was quarantined when he first came in?
Both of those defendants at the exact same time.
All right.
And unlike the other case, Your Honor, this one isn't a violation of probation or the equivalent of that. It's
Yeah, this is a new law offense for, looks like a larceny or theft, some kind of theft. Yeah, 4 counts of grand theft from the state of Pennsylvania from, if I can see, the warrant at least was signed. on April 24th of last year. With an offense date of September 1st of 2019. All right, so say, what are you asking that I do?
Well, Your Honor, what we would ask is if this defendant does have counsel in the other state, counsel may very well have gone to the prosecutor in the court in the other state and requested the warrant be dismissed or extradition be limited to afford him the opportunity to self-surrender. They have not done that. They chose to move forward with the issuance of their governor's warrant. It just shows their likelihood and intent to come and pick him up. What we would ask is if the court is inclined to set a fugitive bond, that it would at least be a monetary bond, similar to what Florida statute requires for each count. We would also ask that in any bond order, there'd be a specific date for him to surrender himself to the other state. Usually it's like 10 or 14 days. And then set a hearing thereafter in the event that there is not proof shown to the court and to us at the sheriff's office that the surrender occurred. If the surrender occurred, just like that sample that counsel provided, we would in turn dismiss the fugitive charge and set aside the bond.
All right, counsel, can you give me the name of that attorney?
Yes, the name is Jeremy D. Williams. That's Jeremy, D as in dog, Williams. His email address, if the court
If you have a
wants.
phone number, you have a phone number and address.
I have his firm's website and his email address. Unfortunately, his signature block doesn't have his phone number on it. But to the prosecutor, or to, I guess the state's issue about what they could have done in the state of Pennsylvania, I have communications from him stating that he's spoken with the researched both Pennsylvania and Florida's adoption of the Uniform Criminal Extradition Act. And given Pennsylvania's law, the only remedy we have is to seek a bond here, that they don't have the ability up there to seek a waiver of extradition. That it's specifically, this is our court of remedy.
So, did he sign a waiver already?
Yes, this morning he signed
morning.
This morning he signed a waiver. All right. So I did take a look at his criminal history. Most of it is from the 90s, so it doesn't raise any concerns for me. The only concern was the case in Maryland, if he had to register with the sheriff's office, then I would make that a part of his bond conditions. As to, there are 4 counts in the warrant, as I can tell, for larceny. So the court is going to set bond in his case in an amount of $2,000 on each count. Condition of the bond that he did not have any contact with any victims or witnesses from this case in Pennsylvania. That he report to the state of Pennsylvania. I gave him 15 business days starting Monday. So that'll give us by April 16th.
If the language of the order could just be 15 business days from the date he posts
Yep.
bond.
So
Because
15,
it could be a day or two before his bond is actually posted and he's released.
well, the problem with that is I had to set a status date afterwards. So I want to say 15 days from today's date. So he, during his trying to figure out how to bond, either get a car rental or whatever, how he's going to get, or a plane ticket at the same time and get himself to Pennsylvania. So on the 16th, I'll give a time by 10 a.m. He needs to report to Pennsylvania on the 16th, by April 16th by 10 a.m. I'm going to set a status hearing with me, because I'm in the afternoon. I'll set it at 1 p.m. on April 19th. make sure that he has complied with my orders.
Your Honor, I'd just like to add one other thing for the record.
Yes, ma'am.
Because the state of Pennsylvania is in the process of moving forward with their governor's warrant, until he surrenders from custody, that process still moves forward.
Correct.
So there is a likelihood that for some reason, the governor's warrant could be issued while he's traveling, and he could be subject to arrest. So the faster you get up there, obviously, the better. That lessens the chances of that happening.
So that's a likelihood that can happen, but that's the risk of asking me to let you out.
As long as he's in there by the
Yeah.
date you prescribed, then he won't be forfeiting a bond here or anything like that. The whole purpose is just that he needs to be
Right.
in that jail up there by that date.
In which case, they would stop the issuance of the governor's warrant if
Right.
one had not been issued or received by us then.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am. All right. All right, I think I got one more, or was that it?
That was it for
That was it,
fugitive.
okay. All right, everybody have a great day. Yeah, oh, I need a proposed order.
I'll have one to you, well, actually, there should be one attached to the motion, the courtesy copy that I gave you, Your
The
Honor.
first hack, or they're stuck together? I need the other packet I gave you, the first one I gave you. There was another one. Yes, ma'am. I was like, what is that?
Your Honor, if all those additional conditions were not set forth on the order, if you want to handwrite something, I'll happily take it to your JA to type something up and get it filed with the court, provide it to counsel.
Well, I'm looking for the proposed order first to see what it looks like, and then,
I have a copy.
yeah, yeah, that's the other guy. Here we go. All right, so total bond is $8,000.
Thursday morning for 8 on the GOP arraignment docket. Is that okay, Judge? Yes, it's okay. All right, so that'll be 4/8 at 9 a.m. Oh, I'm sorry. That's gonna be 4/1. Yes. You're gonna do next Thursday. Okay, 4/1 at 9 a.m.
Will that motion be withdrawn if the charges are filed, Harry?
Yeah, that changes. I mean, really, no, I'm still gonna ask for it because he's complying and he's not convicted.
Okay. We have, Mr. Andrew Corey. Nobody was able to get a hold of him, right?
Jonathan Amber from the drug court office, it's not that I wasn't able to get a hold of him, it's just that he just called me, he went into detox, he's at detox right now.
He's excused. Thank you. This is, case number 2019 CF 16483, 2019 CT 1424, reset to 449.
No, 4-8, he's OPI.
All right, reset to 4/8 for him. Mr. William Morales Garay. He's gonna be on the virtual docket.
Yeah, because his no-shows got excused, so he'll be on the virtual.
And Vito Terpeo, case number 2016 CF 13529, 2016 CF 15588.
Dennis Amber from the drug.
Your Honor, did you want to sign the waiver that
Yeah,
the
I'll sign
defendant
the waiver.
signed?
This case, for some reason, he was not able to bond out, or we can get the process going.
I will follow up later on, or at least on Monday, to see if he was discharged immediately or kept in the hospital.
All right.
Judge, did you want to reset to the next court date on the 9th?
Yeah, I just wrote the order. I just hand wrote the order. Yeah, I just hand wrote it. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You have anything else, counsel?
That's it.
All right. Ms. Figueroa, you say you have Mr. Irizarry. Does he need an interpreter? I denied it when we were denied.
I can't hear you, whoever's speaking, I can't hear you.
Do you want the cases called so can you reset?
Yes, we have other cases that are on there, we need to reset them.
Morning, Your Honor. This is Theodore Leal, Spanish interpreter. The interpreter has been previously sworn, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Leroy. How are you?
Very good, Your Honor. Thanks.
Can you just put the case numbers on the record so they can attach that, what you're saying to that?
Just give me this. I got him on the interpreter line. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
¿Su nombre, señor? Irizarry.
All right. Mr. Irizarry, you have been arrested in 2021 MM 2061AO on a charge of battery domestic violence.
Señor Rosario, usted tiene un cargo, el cargo 2021 MMB 2061A, un cargo de violencia doméstica.
I did review the charging affidavit in this case, and I did find probable cause for your arrest.
Ya yo revisé el escrito de acusación en este caso y determiné que hay indicios de culpabilidad en este caso.
I have a witness in the witness booth, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Wanda
Una
Figueroa.
testigo. En la garita de testigos. ¿Cuánta Figueroa?
Wanda Figueroa.
Oh, Wanda, sorry. Wanda Figueroa.
All right, ma'am, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Afirma que el testimonio que hará en este caso será la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad. Sí.
Sí.
Ma'am, do you need the services of the interpreter?
¿Se necesita los servicios del intérprete de español o no?
Hablo inglés, pero por limitaciones puede ser que algo no entienda, so prefiero el intérprete esté ahí.
I speak English, but we have some limitations, so I'd rather have the interpreter standing by.
Okay. All right, ma'am, can you tell me how you know Mr. Irizarry?
Señora, ¿me podría usted decir cómo es que usted conoce al señor Irizarry?
Tengo una relación de pareja con él.
We have a sentimental relationship with him as partners.
All right. And do you want to have contact with him during the course of this case?
¿Cuál es la pregunta?
So, I'm sorry, Your Honor, the interpreter is just having a slight difficulty with the echo. Just if all the speakers just slow down a little bit, that reduces the problem of the echo that we've been having. Sorry, Your Honor.
Ma'am, do you want to have contact with the defendant during the course of this case?
Yes.
Señora, ¿usted quiere tener contacto con el acusado durante el transcurso de este caso?
Sí.
Yes.
If you're going to use the service of the Spanish interpreter, you have to wait for him to interpret first and then respond to me in Spanish, because otherwise that's what's causing the confusion and the echo. All right?
Señora, si va a utilizar los servicios del intérprete, ¿verdad? Primero espere que el intérprete haga la traducción, ¿verdad? Y después cuando da la respuesta, usted le da en español, porque así se pone muy confuso.
Ok.
Ok.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
¿Algo así ha sucedido anteriormente en el pasado?
No.
No.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role during this incident?
¿Usted cree que este incidente fue producto del consumo de alcohol?
No.
No.
All right, Ms. Figueroa, okay, I forgot to put you on the record.
Okay, Lisa Figueroa on behalf of Mr. Irizarry.
Do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Pregunta para el testigo, no, su señoría.
And Ms. Figueroa, do you have any questions for the witness?
Just briefly, Ms. Figueroa, did Mr. Irizarry ever willfully touch you or strike you against your will?
Señora Figueroa, ¿el señor Irizarry en algún momento la tocó o la golpeó a usted en contra de su voluntad?
No, en ningún momento.
No, at no point.
Did you tell the police that you did not wish to press charges?
¿Usted dijo a la policía que usted no quería presentar cargos?
Sí, le dije a la policía que no quería presentar cargos.
Yes, I did tell the police that I did not want to press any charges.
And you mentioned only something about pulling of your hair. Can you explain that?
Estaba acostada en la cama y mi pelo es largo, so él lo aló en un momento dado.
I was lying down in bed and I have long hair and he pulled the hair at a given moment.
So essentially, this was a misunderstanding.
Eso que se puede decir que eso fue un malentendido.
Sí,
Yes.
And you're asking the court to allow you to have contact with him?
Y usted le está pidiendo al tribunal que le permita tener contacto con él.
sí.
Has anyone
Yes.
forced you or threatened you to say any of these things?
En un momento usted le forzó o le amenazó para que dijera estas cosas.
No,
No,
I don't have anything further.
no tengo más nada.
All right, Ms. Figueroa, do you want to tell me anything about release conditions other than the contact?
¿Hubo una condición de libertad aparte de lo del contacto? ¿Algo más?
No, just that there be allowed to have no hostile contact and that he be able to return to the home where he was staying with her, given the testimony.
No, es únicamente bueno que se haya contacto sin hostilidad y que se le permita ir a regresar con ella, todo según el testimonio que se brindó.
All right, sir, in this case, I want to set your bond in amount of $2,000. Condition of your
Fianza.
bond is that you have no hostile
$2,000.
contact with the victim.
Que no tenga contacto con la víctima con hostilidades. Contacto sin hostilidad, perdón.
So when I say no hostile contact, that means you can have disagreements. Those disagreements cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening.
O sea, cuando quiero decirle de que haya contacto sin hostilidad, eso lo que significa es que pueden que tengan desacuerdos, ¿verdad? Pero que esos desacuerdos no lleguen hasta el punto de tornarse violentos o que se tornen en una situación de amenazas.
Because if the victim feels like she needs to call law enforcement, or somebody sees or hears you all arguing and calls law enforcement, you will be arrested.
Sí, porque si, por ejemplo, ya se ve una situación que ella necesita contactar las autoridades o alguna tercera persona ve que hay un desencuentro o escucha que hay una discusión verbal, entonces ellos puede que llamen a la policía y en ese caso usted sí sería arrestado.
You are to possess no weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement.
Y no se le permite uso de armas ni armas de fuego. Si tiene armas de fuego, tiene que entregarlas a las autoridades.
You are out on bond in 2020, CF 11987AO.
Sería usted bajo fianza en el caso CF 1198O.
And in that case, I'm going to revoke that bond. I'm going to set a new bond at $0.
Your Honor, I would
Y
like to
quiero
address-
revocar la fianza. Serán $0 por esa fianza. Su señoría, yo quiero que tratemos eso.
Go ahead, Ms. Figueroa.
Your Honor, I would submit to the court that my review of the affidavit, I believe, is somewhat limited in terms of the probable cause. There's no statement from Ms. Figueroa indicating that what her son had said was true. Nothing indicated that she ever stated that she was struck or touched against her will, and somehow they altogether leave out whether or not she wishes to press charges, two things which are routine in these type of cases. To use that to revoke his bond, it's a significant bond, which he was following all pretrial conditions. As to that, the court does have discretion to not take action on that, and he has no...
One moment, Ms.
Oh,
Figueroa.
sorry.
Somebody dropped, I think, grabbed the glass.
Sí, esa es la revisión del escrito de la affidavit. Y este affidavit realmente está muy limitado en el contexto para poder determinar que hay indicios de culpabilidad. Toma en cuenta, no hubo testimonio, tampoco de la víctima, no se constató de si lo que el hijo dijo en aquel entonces era verdad o no. No hubo un testimonio tampoco de que a ella la tocaran o la golpearan en contra de su voluntad. Importante el hecho de que no se mencionara nada, de que ella había dicho que no quería presentar cargos. Y eso prácticamente se omitió, tomando en cuenta que eso es una cuestión de rutina en este tipo de casos. Entonces, claro, eso es muy significativo que se le vaya a él a dictaminar esta revocación, especialmente cuando él estaba cumpliendo con todas las condiciones y estaba tomando todas las acciones apropiadas.
And he has no prior criminal history whatsoever outside of the case that he was out on bond, and then now this one, which is clear that it's going to be short-lived. So we'd ask the court to use its discretion to not revoke the bond in that case.
Así que hay que tomar en cuenta que él no tiene ningún tipo de antecedentes penales, aparte del caso ese por el que estaba él bajo fianza. Entonces, por eso yo pido que el tribunal utilice la discreción y la potestad que tiene para no quitar esa revocación, tomando en cuenta que este va a ser un caso muy breve.
Hey, you want to tell me something?
Yes, Your Honor. Briefly, the affidavit was sufficient to find PC, and there was an independent witness. And given the nature of the charges that he's out on bond, and the state did file life offenses, state would ask that you revoke that bond.
All right.
Sí, la fiscalía sí está pidiendo en este momento que se haga la revocación, tomando en cuenta pues la naturaleza de los cargos, también las implicaciones que habían con el testigo, y por eso fue que esta revocación la interpuso la fiscalía.
Based on my review of the charging affidavit and the underlying case that I did just revoke his bond on, the court feels that that is the appropriate measure to take at this moment. You can always approach the division judge that he's assigned to for other further release conditions.
Yo, tomando en cuenta, me parece que sea apropiado, tomando en cuenta el contexto que se nos ha dado. De todas maneras, la licenciada muy bien puede interponer su petición, pero frente al juez de división y el juez que está presidiendo esta causa.
All right. All right. Everybody have a great day. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Alberto Cruz Robles.
Alberto Cruz Robles.
Mr. Cruz Robles, you're here in two matters. The first one is 2021 MM 1613 AO on a charge of violation of conditional release. The other one, you're here also in 2021 MM 2097 AO on a charge of violation of pretrial release conditions on a domestic violence case. I have reviewed the charging affidavit as to that case and has found probable cause. In your other case, the judge signing your warrant has already determined probable cause as to your arrest. I have a witness in the witness booth. Sir, can you tell me your name?
Daniel Gonzalez Martinez.
Mr. Martinez, can you remove your hood, please?
Sorry?
Take your hood off, please.
Oh.
Can you raise your right hand? Be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
Can you tell me how you know Mr. Cruz Robles?
How many time or
How
how?
do you know him?
From where we are, like from Puerto Rico.
Are you all in a intimate relationship with each other, or formerly in an intimate relationship with each other?
Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Were you dating each other previously, now, in the past?
In the
Were you
past.
related by blood?
In the past, we were dating, yeah.
And what do you want to tell me about Mr. Cruz's release conditions?
So the conditions were like no communication and no contact. And when I did make the report in this 11 of this month, they told me that when I did made it, I did talk to my attorney about it, and they told me that they will give it a warrant about he violating that in many ways about through messages and phone calls, and also appearing at my workplace. So that's why I think that you have it in custody.
Mr. Cruz Robles, in 2021 MM1613 AO, the judge in that case has already set your bond amount of $3,500. Condition of that bond is you have no contact with the victim in this case. Not allowed to return to his residence or place of business. May not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You have any questions about the no contact order that you just signed?
No.
No.
In 2021 MM2097 AO, I want to set your bond in that case at amount of $10,000. Condition of the bond is you had no contact with the victim. You need to have not return to the victim's residence or place of business. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in both cases. You need to abide by my orders.
No.
All right. Well, you need to abide by my orders. If you're able to do that, they will have contact. Delete his phone number. Delete his Facebook, his social medias. Don't follow him. Don't have zero contact. Not even think by, even if by mistake. Zero contact. Just listen.
No.
Because if you don't, if you have contact with the victim, even if he contacts you first, it's going to be on you. And you're going to be spending a lot of time here with me at the Orange County Jail. Do you understand that? So avoid it at all costs.
Entendido.
All right? Everybody have a great day. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Ángel Genaro Guillén.
Ahila Bernardo Gallegos.
Mr. Glenn, you're here in 2021 MM2080 AO on charge of trespass after warning. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest.
No, no entiendo lo que
Is
usted.
there an
No,
offer
no
from the
oigo
state of
bien.
I
Florida?
don't understand it.
No oigo bien lo que usted dice.
I cannot hear well.
Well, I can hear the interpreter from here, so I don't know how much louder he can be.
Ahora yo lo escuché a usted.
I hear you now.
All right.
For Mr. Gullion, the offer was a withhold and credit time served.
Did somebody give him a plea form?
¿Pero de qué se me acusa?
But what's the accusation?
That you're trespassing after warning?
Oh, no, he's Spanish, Your Honor. I didn't speak to him.
No.
Or did you give him a plea form with the
No, Your Honor.
written?
I called out the
A mí
people
me
that...
dicen que no traspasen a la zona de la plaza. Y no,
Listen.
es que yo...
Don't talk about the facts of the case, please.
All right.
I called out the people that I could and gave the plea forms
Permiso.
to the ones that were
Mr.
available.
Glenn, did you
Excuse
want,
me.
Permiso.
if you want to, sounds like you want to challenge the case. So I'm going to release you on your own recognizance as to this charge. Condition your release, I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you. You need to make your court dates. You need to keep in contact with your attorney. Do you have an address? Do you have an address that you're going to get mail? See or no?
No, no tengo.
No, I don't have one.
All right. So also condition of your ROR that you have to report to the public defender's office at the Orange County Courthouse twice a month to make sure you don't miss your court dates. You'll have a court date when you release from the jail. So you need to make that court date because you have no excuse but not make that court date because it's on your paperwork when you get released.
Yo no sé por qué tiene que esperar tanto para... Mire, déjeme preso aquí. Déjeme
Why they
preso.
have to wait
great
for
day.
so long for this? Leave me here in jail. Leave me inside in jail.
I don't want to keep you
Yo
here.
no tengo donde vivir, yo no tengo
No quiero.
condiciones para eso. Yo no
I don't-
creo que
I don't have
para
a
un
place
lugar
to live.
no
All right.
traspase,
Have a great day,
público,
sir.
haya falta tanto juicio.
Have a great day, sir.
Dale pa' tu pinga para allá, que esto es una mierda, veo.
Oh, this is shit.
Can you tell me your name, sir?
Joel Hernández Sierra.
Joel Hernández Sierra.
Mr. Hernandez, you're here in 2021 CF 3421AO on charge of burglary of a dwelling, grand theft, and receiving money from a prime broker by false verification of identification. The judge signed your warrant. In this case, has already found probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to stay your bond in count one amount of $3,500. We're going to reduce counts 1 and 2 into 2 and 3 into the amount of $150 each. No return to the scene, no contact with the victim, no secondhand pawn transactions while you're out on release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Have a great day, sir.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Maswell Ortiz Marcano.
Maswell Marcano.
Ortiz Marcano.
It's Marcano.
Mr. Marcano, you're here in 2020 CF 13910AO on charges of sexual battery of a child under the age of 16. The affidavit and the sheet say sexual battery, but this filed under lewd battery under Florida Statute 800.04 sub 4.
State has filed an information under 794.011.
All right. Just regular sexual battery under age 16, or is it any enhancements?
It was, one second, Your Honor.
Well, is it charged as is it a first degree felony
It's
or
a life, Your Honor.
is it life felony?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, State, what do you ask me that I do as to his bond amounts?
Given that he is sitting on a life offense, State would ask that you hold him no bond pending an Arthur hearing.
I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you, sir.
Your Honor, we reserve the right to have an Arthur hearing in the trial division.
Mr. Marcano Ortiz, I wanted to hold you at no bond as to the sole count of the information in this case. I'm going to give you a chance to present yourself in front of the division judge to have a full Arthur hearing. But while that's happening, you're not allowed to have any contact with any victims and or their family. Not allowed to return to the scenes of this incident. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. The no contact order does extend to while you're here in the Orange County Jail. Have a great day, sir. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Daniel Alejandro Mendez Molina.
Daniel Alejandro Méndez Molina.
Mr. Mendez Molina, you're here in 2020 CF 2035 AO on violation of probation. The judge signed your warrant, set your bond amount of $5,000. Your bond remained at $5,000. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Have a great day, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Erika Sánchez.
Erika Sánchez.
Ms. Sanchez, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Seminole County. The judge set your bond amount of $500. Your bond's going to remain at $500. We're going to appoint the public defender to represent you while you're here in my custody. But if you're not able to bond out, Seminole County will be by to pick you up in the next few days. Have a great day, ma'am.
¿Por cuántos días me puedo quedar si no puedo pagar la fianza?
Now, if I cannot pay bond, for how many days do I get to stay here?
I can't give you an exact date and time when they'll come pick you up, but Seminole County picks up pretty regularly, sometimes once a week, sometimes twice a week. So they'll be here soon to pick you up.
Okay, creo que van a venir con la fianza más al rato.
Well, I think somebody else is coming later on to get my bond.
Okay, then you can bond out, but make sure you make your court date in Seminole County. Otherwise, they're going to issue another warrant. You're going to be arrested again. All right, have a great day, ma'am.
Okay, gracias.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Interpreter, this next set of cases is going to be a little confusing because I have one defendant that requires your services as a Spanish interpreter. She says she speaks English now? But she's on the list for Spanish.
Is it Miss Imran?
Are we sure before I lose the Spanish interpreter? Let's bring her in first. Let's bring her in first to make sure because my Spanish interpreters are at a premium right now. Because I don't want to hang up this phone, hang up the line, and then all of a sudden we can't get anybody till this afternoon.
Your Honor, meanwhile, if the interpreter could address something on the technical side with Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I was having a great deal of trouble at the beginning, and that's when I mentioned that I requested people to speak slower. And somehow, as we started with this defendant, everything became crystal clear. So just wonder whether there was anything done on the on that end, because I would like to, the interpreter would like to mention that to IT, so maybe they can get to the root of the problem, because somehow now it's perfect.
I am not sure. We've been having very different issues. I had one point, we had the microphones working all morning, and then I came here in the afternoon. My microphones were dead. I couldn't talk to you guys, the interpreter. We have this huge vent that's in this courtroom that's been going up and down in variances of speed. So I'm not sure if that's it or what's going on.
Understood, Your Honor. But this is great for now.
Yeah. I need Saria. This is Mr. Muhammad. Mr. Muhammad. Yep, I need the co-defendant. All right. I wonder if I can do both. Is my interpreter there? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna bring him on. I can bring him in while we get ready. All righty. Hello, I have an interpreter on the line for Punjabi, is what it is? Is it languages? Okay. Can you tell me your name and give me your ID number?
My name is Indu.
Right.
ID is 106447.
And can you
Sir, I'm hearing the echo. I hear my own voice.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Ma'am, do you need the service of a Spanish interpreter out here?
No, I don't need interpreter.
All right. Thank you, Mr. L'Oreal. Have a great day.
You're very welcome, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Madam Punjabi interpreter, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Yes, sir.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you'll translate from Punjabi to English and English to Punjabi at the best of your ability, so help you God?
Yes, sir. I would.
All right. All right. I got 2 cases. All right, sir, can you tell me your name?
Muhammad Asim.
Indu.
Well, you need to wait for the interpreter if you're going to use the interpreter. So, sir, tell me your name.
Yeah. So my name is Indu. IND as in Delta U. Indu.
Yeah, I know, Miss Yu, I am trying to get the defendant at the podium to tell me his name and for you to translate that from Punjabi to English. So, sir, can you tell me your name?
Muhammad
हाँ
Asim.
जी अपना नाम बोलो जी.
Muhammad Asim.
Mohammed Asam.
Yes, Asim. You got to speak up, Mr. Asim. You got to speak louder. All right, sir, you're here.
So I'm hearing my own voice, sir. This is an interpreter. I hear nothing else. I do hear you, but I hear whatever I say. I'm hearing my own sound.
Okay, so we're trying to address that by having the defendant speak louder, so you can hear him and I can hear what he's saying as well.
Okay.
Sir, you are here in 2021 MM 2091 AO on charge of battery domestic violence.
हाँ जी तुसी ਇੱਥੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਹੋ 2021 ਵਿੱਚ 2091.
I did find probable cause after reviewing your charging affidavit.
Sir, sound quality is really bad. I cannot hear you, sir, properly.
All right. Can we call back and see if we can get somebody else, or I don't, ma'am, I don't know how to fix what you're asking me to fix. I'm not sure what the issue is. I can hear you relatively well.
I can speak a little
No,
bit.
partly I do hear you, sir. But sometimes it's very hard to get because the clarity is not there at all.
All right. Would you happen to be on a headset and or speakerphone?
Yes, sir. No, not on the speakerphone. I have a headset.
Is it a Bluetooth headset?
I'm also on the cell phone.
Well, if this, we may be able to eliminate the issue if you don't use the headset and use the handheld device on the phone you're using. But I'm not sure if you're using an internet calling system.
Yes, sir. This is the way it is. The language line works like it. It has a cell phone, and I have a headset. A headset, sorry.
All right. Is there any way you can pick up the actual cell phone and put it to your ear and see if that eliminates the issue?
This is right in front of my head, sir.
Okay. All right. So
I heard you. See, if you say small things, I do hear you. But the moment you form sentences, it's kind of hard to hear you.
all right. I'm not sure what's going on, but we don't have the time to fix it this morning. So what I'm going to try to do is get through this as quickly and as possible. And if you can just bear with me, that would be great.
Yes, sir. I'll try my level best.
All right. All right. All right, ma'am, can you tell me your name?
What's your question?
Sarah Imran.
Ms. Imran, you're here in 2021 MM 2090 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest.
No, sir, I cannot hear you. I'll transfer you, sir.
That's fine.
Let me transfer you.
All right, Ms. Imran, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Say one more time.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Asim?
We were always fine.
I
It
can't
was
hear you.
just another normal issue that we had yesterday.
Well, no, how do you know him? Don't tell me about the
Oh.
facts of your case. Tell me about how do you know him?
Oh, I know him because he was my brother's best friend.
All right, you can put your hand down. All right. Were you guys dating?
Yes.
All right. And do you want to have contact with Mr. Asim?
No.
All right, so that makes it easy. All right. Ms. Ingram, in your case, I'm going to set your bond in amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision, that you have no contact with Mr. Asim, that you all maintain a separate residence, that you not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned with law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Is the Center Key Drive Road your address?
Yeah.
All right. All right. I want to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Asim. Sir, I'm going to set your bond in amount of $500. Additionally, your bond, you have no contact with the victim in this case. Okay, you must maintain a separate residence. I'll give you one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Madam Interpreter, she still there? She's gone. Yes.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
All right. Madam Interpreter, can you tell Mr. Asim that I set a bond in amount of $500 in his case?
हाँ जी $500 ਦਾ ਬੌਂਡ ਪਾਣ ਕੇ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਕੇਸ ਵਿੱਚ
You cannot have any contact with Ms. Ingram.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ
मेरा कोई बंदा नहीं है
You need to maintain a separate residence from her.
so one more time
You need, like, I'm telling him that he needs to maintain a separate residence from her.
हाँ जी ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਰ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਵੇ ਨੇੜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਣਾ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ
You can go back to the residence one time with law enforcement.
हाँ जी law enforcement ਹੋਈ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਆਏਗਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ
All right. You cannot possess any weapons or firearms.
ਕੋਈ ਵੈਪਨ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ
All right. So, sir, I appointed an attorney to represent you. So if you have any questions, I need you to direct it towards them, okay?
I didn't get it. Attorney, what did you say?
I appointed the public defender to represent him. So if he has any questions, he needs to direct his questions towards the public defender's office.
हाँ जी attorney ਰੱਖਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਦਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਸਵਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਰਿਓ
Everybody have a great day. All right. All right, thank you, Madam Interpreter.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's jump through some of these 33-day motions real quick before we keep going. I have Joshua Alt, 2021 CF 2099AO.
Notice of non-filing.
So that'll be granted. Oh, who sent me this? See, I can't change the date. Quino, 2021 CF 1190AL.
Notice and on filing.
Granted. I have Willis. Willis in 2021 CF 1973AL.
Notice and on filing.
Granted. I have Paisy, not Perez, it's Pez, 2021 CF 1903AL.
It was filed yesterday.
That's heavily denied. I have Strucky, 2021 CF 2158AL.
It was also filed yesterday.
Denied. I had Chesum, 2021 CF 2164AL.
It was filed yesterday.
Denied. I have Smith, 2021 CF 2165AL.
It was also filed yesterday.
Denied. I have Hernandez, 2021 CF 2211AL.
Notice and on filing.
Granted. I have Strucky again, 2021 CF 21659AL.
It was filed this morning.
Denied. I have Rodriguez, 2021 CF 2217AL.
Notice and on filing.
Granted.
One Sturkey was, one Sturkey wasn't. Which one?
What happened to my felony DV?
159. Filed this morning, so denied.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Helen. I am Vietnamese interpreter, ID 202446. My pleasure to assist you, Your Honor.
All right. Could you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Yes.
You solemnly swear you'll translate from English to Vietnamese and Vietnamese to English to the best of your ability, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. Sir, can you tell me your name?
Thưa quý vị, vui lòng cho tôi nói tên của quý vị.
My name Lam.
Cover your nose and your face. Tell me your name.
Lam Trang.
My name is Lam Trang.
All right. Mr. Lam Trang, you are here in 2021 CF 3494AO on 3 charges.
Yeah. Your Honor, could you please repeat the case you said, 39 something?
Yes, ma'am. It's 2021 CF 3494AO.
3494AO. Dạ, thưa ông Trang, ở đây ông có mặt ở đây về cái hồ sơ là 2021 CF 3494AL với 3 cái phần bù tội.
The first charge is attempted felony murder with a weapon.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I cannot hear you well. You said the first charge is for something weapon?
Attempted felony murder with a weapon.
Thank you. Cái buộc tội đầu tiên đó là có cái ý giết người với cái vũ khí.
Second charge is false imprisonment, and the third charge is tampering with a witness.
Your Honor, could you please repeat the second part because we do not have a good connection. I hear some echo when I talk.
Okay. False imprisonment and tampering with a witness.
I'm sorry, frozen resident?
False imprisonment.
Oh. Về cái việc I'm sorry, the interpreter unable to hear you well, Your Honor. May the interpreter transfer you to another interpreter to better connection because the phone keeps cutting.
Let's try this again. The second charge is false imprisonment.
The charge is
false imprisonment.
Imprisonment.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Cái buộc tội thứ hai là về cái không đúng cho việc vào tù. And Your Honor, could you please repeat the third one? You said something witnesses?
Tampering with a witness.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear the first word. Tampering?
Tampering. T-A-M. P-E-R. Yep.
I apologize. Sorry, cannot hear well. Và cái kế tiếp là cái phần gây rối cho cái người dẫn chứng.
I did find probable cause for your arrest on all 3 charges.
Tôi đã mở cái hồ sơ về cái buộc tội ba buộc tội này.
As to the count 1, I'm going to hold you at no bond.
Cho cái trường mục thứ nhất thì không có cái phần bảo lãnh.
Count 2, I'm going to set the bond amount of $10,000.
Maybe to clarify the bond second one is $10,000. Is that correct?
And count 3, yes, $10,000 as a count 2.
Yes, thank you. Và cái phần thứ hai thì cái tiền thế chân là $10,000.
Count 3, you're going to set your bond about $5,000.
$5,000, thank you. Và cái thứ ba đó là cái tiền thế chân là $5,000.
You may not have any contact with any victims or witnesses.
Quý vị sẽ không được liên lạc với cái người nạn nhân cũng như là người nhân chứng.
I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Tôi sẽ chỉ định cái người luật sư công cử để đại diện cho quý vị.
Have a great day, sir.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, could you please repeat the last one you said?
Have a great day.
Chúc quý vị một ngày tốt đẹp. Is there anything else that the interpreter can help you with today, Your Honor?
No, ma'am.
Thank you so much for your repetition. Have a good day. Thank you for using our services. Goodbye.
I have misdemeanor DV. Did we do all the felony DV already? This text says misdemeanor DV. Did we did all the felony DV? I have like a bunch of random stuff here. Is it all move up or something? What am I looking at? That's what I'm trying to figure out. All right, so why are we moving all these people up? This is my question. We have 80 cases today. Why are we moving all these people up? Like, are they security risks? Like, yes? Yeah.
Move ups?
Yeah. All right.
You don't move us.
'Cause I see some traffic cases and trespassers. There. Somebody need to go to CrossFit or something. These are, we're worried about these people. All right, sir, tell me your name.
A. Gonzalez.
Mr. Gonzalez, you're here in 2021 MM177AW on charges of battery, domestic violence, and assault. I reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in count one, in the amount of $250. Count two, in the amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim. You need to maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. All right. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Have a great day, sir. All right.
There.
Can you tell me your name, ma'am?
Pardon?
Tell me your name.
Lisa Collins.
Ms. Collins, you're here in two matters. The first one is 2021 MM2094AO on charge of resisting officer without violence. Second case is 2021 CT2338AO on charge of no motor vehicle registration. And it's also 2021 CT2339AO on charge of driver license suspended as a FRS suspension. I reviewed the charging affidavit, and I did look up your David history. You did find probable cause for your arrest. It states an offer to resolve all the cases.
Yes, Your Honor, the offer for all three cases and adjudication credit time served.
All right, Ms. Collins, do you want to resolve your case this morning with adjudication of guilt, credit time served?
Yes, actually, I want to state I don't have to have a driver's license or the car registered per the Constitution.
No, talk about the facts of your case. The question is, do you want to resolve your case this
Yes,
morning?
I would like to.
Did you get a plea form?
I think
George, did you get a plea form to Ms. Collins?
No, Your Honor, I called the people, I went back there, the people that were up there and available, I was able to give them the plea form, the ones that weren't.
So we didn't, so I thought the process we were going to set out, we're going to fill out all the plea forms, give them the corrections so they can distribute them to the people in back there.
Oh, Your Honor.
'Cause we have a lot of cases this morning. So there's a lot of plea colloquies on me.
Right, some of them weren't brought up, so
That's why we're supposed to give them the corrections, so when they're brought up, they can get a plea form, they can read it. I don't need, if they have questions about the plea form, then they need to talk to you, but plea forms are in English and in Spanish.
they're here, but I come down and I speak to them. They're left in the courtroom, the plea forms, so I don't know.
So where did the stack of plea forms that were sitting back there on that back there?
They're here.
I never
So,
saw them.
Monday.
I don't know how to work that out.
I'm just saying
but
Monday.
I don't.
Monday, between the two of you, plea forms need to be filled out, given to corrections, so they can distribute them. Because people are going back and forth as we're going in court. If we're gonna wait till the person comes through the door to try to talk to them about a plea form, the system's not gonna work.
No, I talked to them, Your Honor. However, due to COVID, we weren't physically filling out plea forms and getting them to sign anything.
That's why we're gonna give them to corrections, because I understood that was a problem with your office. So that's why I was gonna say, fill out the plea form, get a plea form to my corrections officers. They will hand them to the defendant. The defendant can sit there and read the plea form while they're sitting here all day, waiting for their case to be called. They've been up since probably 5:30 this morning.
2:00.
Yeah, waiting to come to court. So during that time, they can read plea forms and be ready to go when they come through the door.
Your Honor, I understand. I just don't know if I'll do it. I'll come in here and fill it out. I still don't know if they're gonna be able to give it to them in time.
Did you got corrections? You guys told me that we can do that. Did something change? No, Your Honor. All right. So they said they can do it. So that's why we had a discussion. All right. All right, Ms. Collins, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, put your hand down. Ma'am, you're here, like I said, in the three matters that are before me. First one is 2021 MM2094AO, charged with resisting officer without violence. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable by 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. In 2021 CT2338AO, the charge is no motor vehicle registration. as a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable by 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. The last charge is 2021 CT 23339 AO, and charge of driver license suspended as a FRS suspension. That's actually a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
May I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
Is this a court of equity or is this a court of criminal court?
This is a criminal court, ma'am.
Okay, this is a civil matter. So how does the civil matters tie into the criminal court?
Well,
It's a
if you don't
don't
handle
have-
your FRS suspensions and those kind of suspensions, and you're arrested while driving, if you knew
That's
about it.
civil
I was gonna
matters.
say, wait,
I'm just-
you asked me to explain to you.
I can't see how these go, sorry.
So you asked me how to explain to you. So if you're arrested, if you don't take care of your FRS suspensions, which is, you started as a civil matter, if you didn't pay or return like tags and various other reasons why you could have got an FRS suspension.
That's why I was telling you that under the Constitution, according to the Fifth Amendment, I do not have to have a driver's license because I'm traveling, not driving.
Okay.
And I don't have I have the tags and everything. I offered to give them to the officer.
Okay.
But mix-up, I don't know how it happened. I tried to get out of the car. They say I tried to run away from him. I didn't. I was falling out of the car, and the guy was pulling me out. I was trying to cooperate.
Okay.
But I did tell him I did have them, but the problem was my purse was in the back seat, and he would not let me reach back there and get it to give him the information because it was in the back seat of the car.
All right. Well, if you don't take care of those things, and the legislature in the state of Florida passed a law saying that if you knew you were driving while your license is suspended for whatever reason, this particular reason is a FRS suspension, that there's a criminal punishment behind that. So
It's still based on a civil matter, though, which is.
no, it isn't. So I know you may believe
No,
in
I
the
read the
sovereign
Constitution. I'm a
citizen,
common law person.
the sovereign citizen internet fad that's out there, but
No.
it's
I worked with someone before,
yeah.
and he actually did numerous cases that every one of them made it through.
Okay.
That's why I
Well,
go by on what I
if
learned
you want
from
to
him.
resolve your case with me, which is a criminal
Mm-hmm.
case, you can do so if you want to. If you don't want to do that, I can leave your bonds as set, you can post bond, and you can show up in front downtown and deal with the case at a trial.
I'm already set up to go downtown for the same exact thing. I went for a real hearing, not a virtual hearing, but a meet with a judge hearing like I'm doing now.
Yeah. So
They
you gotta
just
go to
haven't-
arraignment if you.
They still haven't given me a court date yet.
Okay. All right. So I want to leave your bonds as set in your cases. Condition your bonds, you not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. And you can speak to the division judge about however you want to resolve the case then. You want to panel a jury to decide your case, that's up to you.
I go by the law, sorry.
Have a great day.
Okay, thank you. Which way do I go?
No.
Operator, mental health.
All right, it's 2021 MM 2083AO. Mr. Alvarez is going to appoint a public defender to represent him. He's in mental health. Do you want to try to bring him tomorrow? He's going to think he'll be ready. He'll be feeling good tomorrow to come.
Will he be ready? We'll waive.
All right. Well, George, what do you want to do?
Ready by Monday?
I don't know what kind of crisis he's in, so I don't know if they're Baker acting him back there or, but if he wants to get his case over with, he can. Yeah.
No. We'll waive, Your Honor.
Well, my question is, what do you want me? Do you want me to reset his initial appearance to Monday, so I'll see him on Monday, or do you want me to try to set some kind of release conditions for him?
I would ask that you try to set some release conditions. They stated he's in a bad position, Your Honor.
Yeah. All right, based on that information, I'm going to set his release as this. I'm going to have him screen for mental health PTR first. If he doesn't qualify for mental health PTR, I don't see any failures to appear on his record, so I'm going to release him on his own recognizance if he does not qualify for mental health PTR. I'm not going to take any action on his Osceola County case. One, because I'm not even sure they filed on it yet, because it just happened.
I don't believe they have
They
your.
haven't filed on the case yet, so I wasn't going to take any action on it yet. All right, tell me your name, sir.
Paul John Costa.
Mr. Costa, you're here in 2021 MM 2095AO on a charge of resisting an officer without violence. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest.
Your Honor, the offer in the case was an adjudication credit time served.
Sir, do you want to take an offer from the state of Florida to resolve your case this morning with an adjudication of guilt, credit time served?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give on this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Help me God.
All right, you can put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2021 MM 2095AO on a charge of resisting officer without violence. That is a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case today?
No contest. Resolve the case today.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to give up certain constitutional rights.
Yes.
You understand that one of those rights you're going to give up is the right to have a trial where the state had to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes.
You understand you give up the right to have an attorney appointed to represent you at a trial.
Yes.
At a trial, your attorney can challenge the state's evidence. They can question the state's witnesses and call witnesses on your behalf. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
It is a witness you wanted to call, and that witness did not want to come to court. The court can use a subpoena power to make that witness appear. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, I'm not.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
I haven't.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
I haven't.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
United States citizen.
I did have an opportunity to review the charging affidavit in this case. I did find a factual basis for the airing of your plea. I accept your plea of no contest in this case, finds your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'll adjudicate you guilty of the charge. I give you credit for 2 days in Orange County Jail. Well, 1 day. 1 day in Orange County Jail with 1 day credit time served. The court costs and costs of prosecution in this case are $273. I will order that you pay those costs directly to the clerk within 1 year of today's date. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
Mark Jeanette, mental health, Your Honor.
I want to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Jeanette in 2021 CF 3482AO.
Will waive.
All right, I'm going. We'll have him also screened for mental health pretrial release in this case. If he does not qualify for mental health pretrial release, I want to set his bond in count one amount of $500 and $250 as to count two. Yes, ma'am. So be clear, mental health pretrial release screening first. Then if he does not qualify, then we can move on to him bonding out. All right, sir, tell me your name.
Jesus Rivera Maldonado.
Sir, you're here in 2021 CF 2389AO on a charge of lewd lascivious molestation of a child under the age of 12 years old. The judge signing your warrant has already found probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to stay your bond at no bond in this case.
Your Honor, we did file an information.
We did? Okay.
We filed 19 counts. However, one is still a life felony, so we would ask for no bond.
So what are the other counts?
Count one is what is charged, the lewd and lascivious. Count two is battery of a child by throwing fluids, which is an F3. Count three is promoting sexual performance by a child, which is an F2. Count four is possessing material depicting sex by a child, which is an F2.
You gotta give me that information probably.
It's quite lengthy. I can print you a copy real fast. Hold on 1 second, Your Honor.
I'll do this. Since I'm holding him at no bond as to count one, he's gonna have an Arthur hearing anyways. And then the judge, his division can enumerate all the different counts. I'll just deal with the one count that's on the warrant. And I hold him at no bond. Sir, you gotta have no contact with the victims or witnesses in this case. not allowed to return to the scene where this incident happened, not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. The no contact order does extend while you're here at the jail. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in your cases. All right, and get you onto your division judge and see if there's any appropriate release conditions that they're willing to release you on. All right, have a great day, sir.
Your Honor, would you like me to approach with the information for the clerk?
I was going to hold them at count one because then the division judge is going to do what they have to do with the ARTA hearing for the other 18 counts.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, can you tell me your name?
Jamie Wilson.
All right, Mr. Wilson, you're here in 2021 CF 3484AO on charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Please.
One second. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case in an amount of $3,500. Condition of your bond, you had no contact with the victim in this case. Not allowed to return to the scene, the location.
That is my home.
All right, well, say this. I'll order like this, maintain a separate residence.
That is all this is.
If the victim is still there, then,
Can I talk? Can I say something?
well, everything you tell me is on the record. So I want to suggest you talk to Ms. George first. I will warn you like this. First, cover your nose. Cover your nose. Yep. Going like this. Defendants have told me many things, and I've seen defendants tell judges many things while they're waiting to be, what cases are, while they're in front of them. I would say 98% of the time, what they've told the judge does not help them. Doesn't help them in their case, doesn't help them in their argument. Because you could think you're saying you're innocuous. I wasn't there. You saying you're not there, like, it alleviates you a lot of defenses. I didn't do anything. Alleviates you of a lot of defenses. So people tell judges that, stuff like that all the time. And then they get.
What I got to say, I understand what he's saying, but you're not understanding what I'm trying to say.
All right. So I'll give you maintain separate residence from the victim. Does the victim live with you?
Yes, ma'am, sir.
All right. But if it's your house, that's what it is. Maintain separate residence. You got to go through the process of removing them from your home. I'll give you one-time return with law enforcement. If it becomes a problem, the victim's still there. Retrieve any personal items you have. May not allow to possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons? Wait, listen to me. You're not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms. No, I'm gonna get this question in a second. Let's finish my little colloquy. No weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also have 48 hours of release to report to the sheriff's office as a sexual violent predator or offender, all right? So now tell. You are a registered sex offender.
Yes, sir.
So you have 48 hours to get from the jail to wherever you register at the sheriff's office once you bond out. Because if you don't do that, they're going to come looking for you. So I'm making it part of your release conditions that you bond out and go see them, because that's what the law says you need to do. A lot of people, like in my practice with this, they skip that part, and then they get warrants for their arrest, and they're like, I've been registering, I've been doing this, but I'm like,
I got you, trust me.
I got you.
Know that. I've been.
No, people ain't got nothing else to do with their time. You know that.
Okay.
All right. So now we need to tell me about, other than the facts of your case, about whether you're guilty or not guilty. I don't know. So that's not.
Your Honor, I advised against him speaking about the fact.
And I can't. This is not the place to handle that.
Telling me not to, you don't even know what I'm going to say. It's not.
All right. Tell me. All right. Tell me about the case. Tell me what you got to say.
Sir, what I'm saying, I just went to disability hearing money. I have many issues. I've been beat into a coma. I have nowhere else to go. I just came up.
Yeah, I need you to cover your nose, though.
I just moved back to Florida. Okay, as far as about what happened in the case, I didn't do anything. Who cares about that? Because that's not what I was trying to explain to you.
All right.
I don't have anywhere to go. But that was the whole point of my roommate doing this, is because I don't have nowhere else to go. You know what I'm saying? That is, as you see, I'm a registered offender, and that is the address, and that is where I live. And I don't have nowhere else to go, but not this time. And that's why they did this lie. behind me and my other roommate back. But anyway, that's
I
not
got
the end
you.
of that, but that's what I want to let you know.
Yeah, I understand. That's why I made it part of your conditions.
Brain problems.
Yeah.
I got one more operation, and just last year, I got 4 plates in my face, all this stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going through a lot right now, mentally. Just lost my dad, a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to cope with this the best I can.
Yep, so that's why I ordered that, for what you just said, because you may not have anywhere else to go.
Yeah.
So, but if you don't go to the sheriff, so what usually happens, people bond out there, people in your position. They don't go to, people bond out. They get a case like this, they bond out. They don't report to the sheriff's office. And then the sheriff's office doesn't know where you are because you're not, I ordered you not to be at your residence. All right? But then, since I'm ordering you to maintain a separate residence, you may not be able to go back to this residence. We gotta, so that's why I said you gotta go with law enforcement, because guess what? If you go check in, and then you go with law enforcement to your residence, and we figure out the living
It's
situation.
mine, everything in there is mine.
I understand that. And like law enforcement help you figure that out. But if you don't work with them, and just like you gotta remain, I know it's probably hard for you because there's a lot of emotions, a lot of things going on. You gotta make it be hard for you, but you gotta relax and like work with them so you don't cause yourself another problem.
So,
All right? So if there's another issue, there's a further issue, and you need more hearing time, and talk to another judge, you talk to your division judge. You need to work with your public defender and make sure that happens, all right?
because I can't go nowhere right now, and this is what they're doing, and they know that I have these issues going on, and I've called I done been out at the police and everything, I've been there. So I don't know, this is what they're trying to do, where it is kind of like upsetting me, because my mom gone, my dad gone, and I'm trying to stay on the right track and do the right thing, sir. And it's, what that happened to me, with brain injury and stuff, all this, they know is gonna get me upset like the way I am now, and I don't like this, and I'm so sorry.
No problem.
And I don't be connected in understanding everything when people are talking to me, and I forget things, and they know these things, and it's bothered me. It's got me so upset because I can't even remember. Like if I walk out this room, I probably won't even remember everything you said to me. You understand?
Well, that's why we'll write it down. You're gonna have it in writing. You got the green piece. That green piece of paper has a lot of information about people that can help you, and as well as you're gonna get my order telling you what you need to do to make sure you don't violate my orders. All right?
I'm lost. So what am I going to do? I got money to bond out. I got that, whatever the case may be. But what am I going to do when I get bonded out? I don't have nowhere to go. I got
You need to go to the sheriff's office.
Oh, the sheriff's office is going to let me live there. Sir, do you understand what I understand? I'm a sex offender. It's hard for me to get an apartment anywhere, even though this charge is over 25 years old.
Yeah.
And it haunts me the rest of my life. It came from my childhood. And it's so hard for me. I don't have no one right now. You understand? And they know this. And it was to try to separate them, put me out of my place.
All right.
My residence. This is crazy.
All right. Work with your attorney. Make sure you report to the sheriff's office when you get out. All right.
Okay.
Have a great day, Mr. Wilson.
Okay. Which way? I can't see how we got one eye.
Right, so.
Hello, sir. Tell me your name.
Daniel Bradshaw.
Mr. Bradshaw, you're here in 2021 CF 3486AO on charge of battery domestic violence by strangulation and battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in count 1 in amount of $2,000, count 2 in amount of $500. Condition of bond, you had no contact with the victim in this case. That you maintain a separate residence from the victim. It seemed to happen at your house, so I'm not gonna, you should be able. I was going to order to maintain a separate residence right now. Give you a return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. May not possess any weapons or firearms. Weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. May not possess any drugs or alcohol. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you 30 days before any narcotics testing happens, but the alcohol testing will resume immediately. You're out on bond in 2021 CT 649 AO. I'm not going to take any action as to that case. But in 2021 CF 702, I'm going to revoke that bond. I'm going to set a new bond in that case in an amount of $5,000. That'll be $3,000 on count one, $2,000 on count two. Condition in that case is you not possess any drugs or alcohol. You'll be subject to random drug or alcohol testing as to that charge as well. Have a great day, sir. That's going to appoint the public defender to represent you in all your cases. Just make sure you have representation. All right. All right. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Malcolm Moore.
Mr. Moore, you're here in 2021 CF 3493AO on charges of kidnapping with intent to inflict harm with a firearm, aggravated battery on a pregnant person, aggravated assault with a firearm on a pregnant person, and grand theft of a firearm. I reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. As to count one in the information of the charging affidavit, I'm going to hold you at no bond. Count two, I'm going to set your bond amount of $10,000. Count three, $10,000. Count four, $500. Condition of the bond, you had no contact with the victim. You not returned to the scene, the location. Did you not possess any weapons or firearms? Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. You are out on bond in 2020 CF 12576 AO on charges of grand theft of a firearm and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. I'm going to revoke your bond as to that case. I'm going to set a new bond at $0. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you if you're not otherwise represented in that case. Have a great day, sir. Well, first of all, do you have any questions about the no contact order? No, sir. All right. Thank you. Have a great day. All right, sir, tell me your name.
Rick Olvera.
Mr. Olvera, you're here in 2021 CF 3480AO on charges of aggravated battery on a pregnant person, domestic violence. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I have a witness in the witness booth. Ma'am, can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Ivalis, Torres, Torres.
All right. Ms. Torres, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Can you tell me how you know Mr. Oliveira?
He's my boyfriend.
All right. And do you want to have contact with your boyfriend during the course of this case?
Yes, sir.
Are you afraid of him?
No, sir.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
No.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role during this incident?
No.
If something like this were to happen again, would you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Yes.
All right. Tate, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. George.
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Rivera, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm going to set your bond in this matter, amount of $1,500. It's going to cover pretrial release supervision. That you have no hostile contact with the victim. No hostile contact means this. You're allowed to have disagreements with her. She's allowed to complain to you and to aggravate you and to annoy you about you not rubbing her feet or rubbing her back because she's pregnant. You're allowed to have all those kind of different disagreements about you not showing her enough affection and those things like that. Those arguments cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. They cannot come to the point where she's going to call law enforcement or somebody that sees or hears you all is going to call law enforcement. Because if that happens, you will be arrested. You will spend a lot of time here with me at the Orange County Jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day, sir. Tell me your name, sir.
Antoine Pickard.
Mr. Pickard, you're here in 2021 CF 2563AO on charges of burglary, battery, domestic violence by strangulation, and battery domestic violence. The judge signing your warrant in this case has already found probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in count 1 in amount of $2,000, count 2 in amount of $500. Condition of your bond will come with pretrial release supervision, that you have no contact with the victim, that you maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. I'll strike the no return on the warrant. Is a no return on the warrant. So I'll strike that. Change it, delete it, change it to maintain separate residences. You're not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You understand?
Yes, sir.
I want to appoint the public defender to represent you. You have any questions about the no contact order, sir? Do you have any questions about the no contact order?
No, sir.
All right, have a great day, sir. All right, sir, tell me your name.
My name is Omar Rosario.
Mr. Rosario, you're here in 2021 CF 3030AO on charges of felony battery. The judge signing your warrant has already found probable cause for your arrest. I have a witness in the witness booth. Ma'am, can you tell me your name?
Anna Pimentel.
I guess it's battery by strangulation, not felony battery. All right, can you spell your last name?
Pimentel.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, put your hand down. All right, ma'am, can you tell me how you know Mr. Rosario?
We are married.
All right, and do you want to have contact with him during the course of this case?
Yes, sir.
Are you afraid of him?
No, sir.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
No, sir.
Did drugs and alcohol play a role in this incident?
No, sir.
If something like this were to happen in the future, would you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Yes, sir.
Say, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. George.
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, sir, I'm going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $1,000. Condition of your bond will come with pretrial release supervision, that you have no hostile contact with the victim in this case. All right, no hostile contact means this. You're allowed to have disagreements with your wife. She's allowed to be frustrated with you because you left the toilet seat up or you didn't clean up after yourself or anything like that. Those arguments cannot become violent. They cannot become threatening. They cannot come to the point where either she's going to call law enforcement or somebody that sees, look at me. I want you to catch this because I don't want you to miss this. Somebody that sees or hears you calls law enforcement. Because if that happens, you're going to be spending a lot of time here with me at the Orange County Jail when you're arrested. You understand that?
I'm sorry, I
You
can't.
have no hostile contact with your wife.
Okay,
You're allowed to have disagreements with her. That life comes with conflict. All right? Those arguments cannot become violent. They cannot become threatening. They cannot come to the point where either she's going to call law enforcement or somebody that sees or hears you is going to call law enforcement. Because if that happens, you will be arrested and then you will be sitting here with me at the Orange County Jail. Do you understand that?
understand.
You're not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
Can you tell me your name, sir?
Will Serrano.
Mr. Serrano, you're here in 2021 CF 3461AO on a charge of child abuse and battery domestic violence. I reviewed the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest as to both charges. I want to set your bond in count 1 in amount of $5,000 and count 2 in amount of $500. Condition of the bond, have no contact with the victim. Is you're not allowed, you must maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not have any contact with any child under the, unsupervised contact with any child under the age of 18. You're out on probation in this case in 2016 CF 15082. In that case, I'm going to find an on-view violation of probation based on the affidavit that I've received. Oh, sorry. Back to the first case. No drugs and alcohol. You be subject to random drug and alcohol testing. All right. But as to 2016 CF 15082, I'm going to find an on-view violation of probation. I'm going to set your bond at 0. In that case, you are a violent felony offender of special concern, sir. You won't be entitled to release on those charges or your violation of probation until your violation of probation is completed. So you need to have a hearing before you're allowed to be released. So you need to go to a VOP hearing and a danger hearing. So you're not going to be able to bond out on your violation of probation. All right? Somebody gave me writ paperwork, but I thought that we weren't doing that.
Do you have the writ for the contempt?
Yeah, it's a child support writ. That's why I thought that was being handled by somebody else. Am I doing that now? Okay, somebody told me otherwise. So I want to make sure. All right, sir, you have a writ. Bodily attachment purge is $1,500, so you can pay that to get out on that charge. But obviously, you need to deal with the other cases first. All right. Say again? Yes, Miami-Dade. So Miami-Dade County issued you a writ of bodily attachment for $1,500 as far as your purge amount to bond down your child support case. But obviously, you can't get out until you deal with your violation of probation. Tell me your name, sir.
Eric Albrecht, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Is it Augnet?
Albrecht.
Albrecht. What happened to Agnet?
Eric.
No, this is another person. I was like, I have somebody before you, so I was confused. Why?
That's okay.
We're waiting on her? That's what it is? Okay. All right, Mr. Albrecht, you're here in 2021 MM 2058AO on charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in this case, and I did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case an amount of $500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You're not allowed to have any contact with the victim. You need to maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You have any questions about the no contact order, sir?
No.
No questions?
No questions, sir.
Want to appoint a public defender to represent you? Have a great, well, say you didn't qualify. So I'm not going to appoint a public defender to represent you. You're going to have to hire your own attorney.
I made a mistake during the filing, but I'll handle that. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. All right, have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
He took his shit. I think it's up there somewhere. Well, some that needs to be shredded. So. All right. All right, ma'am, can you tell me your name?
Martika Agnew.
Ms. Agnew, you're here in 2021 MM 2062AO on charge of battery domestic violence. The court did review the charging affidavit in this case, and I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case in an amount of $1,000. Condition of your bond, you had no contact with the victim. You maintain a separate residence from the victim. I give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. Ma'am, you're out on bond in 2020 CF 9139BO. In that case, I'm going to find I'm going to find that finding probable cause that you violated the law. I'm going to revoke that bond. I'm going to set a new bond at $0 in that case. You can get in front of the appropriate division judge and have a bond hearing as to any other appropriate release conditions they feel that you qualify for. Have a great day, ma'am. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Jonathan Cole.
Mr. Cole, you're here in 2021 MM 2088AO on charge of battery domestic violence. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I have a witness in the witness booth. Ma'am, can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Yes, it's Amy Cole, Cole.
All right. And can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me how you know Mr. Cole?
He is my husband.
And do you want to have contact with your husband during the course of this case?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
Yes.
When would you say was the last recent incident other than this one?
A couple months ago, approximately.
And did drugs or alcohol play a role during this incident?
No.
Right. If I were to grant contact, do you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement if something like this were to happen again?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, Mr. Cole, I want to set your bond in this case in the amount of $500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. Right now, I'm going to order that you have no contact with your wife, that you maintain a separate residence from her, that you got to give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you. My conditions of contact can be modified by Shoemaker, who's our DV judge. But until that time, do not violate my court orders. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
As even if she tries to contact you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Can you tell me your name, sir?
Chris Crossland.
Mr. Crossland, you're here in two matters. The first one is 2021 MM 2096AO on charge of battery domestic violence. And you're also here in 2021 MM 2063AO on charge of battery domestic violence. State, as to 2096AO, I'm trying to understand what happened there.
Your Honor, I was not quite sure either. I believe it was potentially from the same incident.
It was like they saw him, they finally caught up to him a couple days later, but.
I believe potentially that one charge was for the mother and then one charge was for, what was it, a girlfriend, wife?
Yeah.
But since the officer said he has no PC as to the 2096, I just asked for an ROR on that one.
All right, so I'm not gonna find any probable cause as to 2096AO. We'll release you on your own recognizance as to that charge. As to 2021 MM 2063AO, I'm going to set your bond in that case in the amount of $500. Going to order that you have no contact with the victim in that case, that you maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You have any questions about the no contact order, sir?
No, sir.
All right. I'll appoint a public defender to represent you. Have a great day, sir.
Your Honor, I believe alcohol was involved. Are you gonna make that a condition?
All right, sir. No drugs, no alcohol. And check. You be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you 30 days before any narcotics testing begins, but the alcohol testing will resume immediately. All right. Have a great day, sir. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Pardon me?
Your name.
Albert Gannon.
Mr. Gannon, you're here in 2021 MM 122AA on charge of battery. The court did review the charging affidavit in this case and did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $1,000, condition of your bond that you have no contact with the victim in this case, that you maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Do you have any questions about the no contact order, sir?
No, sir.
All right. So you asking for any other conditions?
No, Your Honor.
One point, the public defender represent you. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Good morning.
Can you tell me your name, sir?
My name is Rafi Enrique Quiles, sir.
You got to speak up.
Rafi Enrique Quiles.
Mr. Quiles, you're here in 2021 MM 2079AO on charge of battery domestic violence. The court did review the charging affidavit in this case, and I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case in an amount of $1,000, condition of your bond that you had no contact with the victim, that you maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items that you have in that residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You're out on bond from 6 days ago in 2021 CF 2360AO. In that case, I'm going to revoke that bond. I'm going to set a new bond at $0. In 2021 MM 43AE, say is there an offer to resolve that case?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, and so in that case, I'm going to revoke that bond as well. I'm going to set a new bond in the amount of $1,000. Or the condition that bond not return to the scene, the location where that incident happened. One point, the public defender to represent you in all your cases. Have a great day. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Robert Ross.
Mr. Ross, you're here in 2021 MM 2092AO on a charge of battery domestic violence. The court did review the charging affidavit in this case, and I did find probable cause for your arrest. I want to set your bond in this case in the amount of $1,500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision, that you have no contact with the victim in this case, that you maintain a separate residence from the victim. I give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Do you have any questions about a no contact order, sir?
I did get a no contact order.
You understand? Do you have any questions about it?
No, sir.
All right. Make sure you follow my orders. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Anthony Tash.
Mr. Tash, you're here in 2021 MM 176AW on a charge of battery domestic violence. The court did review the charging affidavit in this case, and I did find probable cause for your arrest. I have a witness in the witness booth. Ma'am, can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Miranda Martinez, Martinez.
All right. And can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell me how you know Mr. Tash?
He's my husband.
And do you want to have contact with your husband during the course of this case?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
No.
If anything like this were to happen again, do you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Yes.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
Yes.
All right. All right, State, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Tash, in this case, I'm going to set your One more question, Ms. Martinez.
Yes.
Is your husband seeing any mental health providers?
Yes, I take him once a month to Aspire Health Partners for his injection.
Okay.
He has a appointment. His next appointment actually is on Monday.
All right.
And we also see a therapist.
All right. So the question I have, is it that he's mixing his medication with with alcohol or some other substance?
Well, the injection that he takes, it lasts for an entire month. So he doesn't take pills every day or anything. He gets the injection, lasts for an entire month. But the last week of the month, it wears off, and that's when I start having problems with him a lot. But in this month, particularly in the last week of the month, he did do drugs, so it made it worse, which is why I feel like he resulted in it came out to be such a bad situation because he was doing things that he normally wouldn't do.
All right. All right, Ms. Page. Let's see.
But I do believe that he needs some more help other than that injection.
Yeah, all right. Based on the information you provided, I'm going to set your bond, sir, in the amount of $500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no hostile contact with your wife, all right?
Please say that again.
I'm going to set your bond at $500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision.
Uh-huh.
You have no hostile contact with your wife. You can have arguments and disagreements with her, all right? Life has conflict. Those arguments cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. They cannot come to the point where she feel like she needs to call law enforcement, or somebody that sees or hears you all arguing is going to call law enforcement. Because if that happens, you will be arrested and spending a lot of time here with me at the Orange County Jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're not possessing any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol that you don't have a valid prescription for. Be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. Now, you also need to make a condition of your pretrial release that you make all your appointments at Aspire and for your therapist. All right? So you make for your appointments for your injection, make your appointments for your therapist.
Yes, sir.
Do all those things like that. While the case is going on, you won't have any problems with me. All right?
Your Honor, does he not qualify for mental health PTR?
I'm not sure since he has a support system.
Well,
Understood.
One thing is, we have a thing called mental health PTR. I use it for people that sometimes don't have some of the lack of support system. Since she has you, and you seem like you're on top of him taking his medication and getting to his appointments and things like that. I don't want to. You don't have limited resources in that area.
okay,
So that's the reason why I was thinking about that. That's why I
Yeah.
asked you all those questions about
okay.
what what was doing, what kind of things were happening.
Oh yeah, he goes religiously every month, and I'm there to take him.
Yep. So a lot of my people that I put on mental health PTR don't have that. They don't
Yeah,
have
and he gets
anybody.
the actual injection. It's really expensive actually, but he actually gets it free through the brand. They have him in a program, so he's actually very lucky.
So so a lot of people don't have some people
Right.
working with them and help and support. So
Right.
when that happens, then they kind of resolve on us to try to help get that process going for them. All right.
Okay,
All right. Everybody have a great day.
thank you.
All right, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Jasmine Upper.
Ms. Upper, you're here in 2021 MM 2059AO on charge of battery dating violence. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I have a witness in the witness booth, sir. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Brandon Bonilla, and last name is spelled Bonilla.
All right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
So help you God?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell me how you know Miss Upper?
We've dated for like 2 years, on and off.
And do you want to have contact with her during the course of this case?
Yes.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
Not to this extent, no.
Are you afraid of her?
No, not at all.
if something like this were to happen in the future, do you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Yes.
All right. Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
Yes.
All right. Say, you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Upper, I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no hostile contact with your boyfriend. All right, no hostile contact means this. You're allowed to have arguments with him. You're allowed to be upset with him if he failed to do something you asked him to do or anything like that. However, those arguments cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. They cannot come to the point where he's going to call law enforcement or somebody that sees or hears you all call is going to call law enforcement. Because if that happens, you will be violating my court order and be spending a lot of time here with me at the Orange County Jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you a 30-day grace period for any narcotics that may be in your system before they start popping you for that. But after that point, but alcohol testing will resume immediately, though.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say, for the record, I feel like this whole situation was blown out of proportion. I don't think she's like violent at all, and I don't think she's a criminal at all.
Yep.
And,
Well, a lot of people have misconceptions about this process. That we think that people that are arrested are bad people or they have some kind of characteristic. Things happen. But sometimes those things that happen violate the law. Then you end up here with us. It has nothing to do with you as a person.
Okay, I just wanted to let that be known. And also, from the very beginning, I also said I did not want to press charges. So.
Okay. Well, it's up to the state of Florida whether they're going to press charges against her or not. So that's up to you. That's up to them. All right.
Okay.
All right. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Traffic. Oh, sir, can you tell me your name?
Donald Frank.
Hey.
Donald Frank.
Mr. Frank, you're here in two matters. The first one is 2021 CT 2341AO on charge of no valid driver's license. And you're also here in 2021 CT 2342AO on charge of no motor vehicle registration. I did review the charging affidavits. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Is there an offer for Mr. Frank to resolve his cases today?
Yes, Your Honor. They're both a withhold credit time served.
All right, Mr. Frank, do you want to resolve your case today with a withhold of adjudication of guilt credit time, sir?
Yes, I would like to speak on the part of the affidavit. And
No, Your Honor. I spoke to him. We would ask for an ROR to resolve this later.
Okay.
No.
All right. It seems like you don't have any failures to appear, at least what I have in front of me. Did you have an updated? All right. I want to release you on your own recognizance as to these two charges. You need to make sure you make your court dates. Do you have an address that you would get mail at, Mr. Frank?
yes.
Yeah, is that the address that's on this affidavit that you're arrested on?
Yes.
You have a different, okay. Make sure you're going to get a court date when you sign, when you leave here today. But if they change the date or something else, you need to make sure you make your court dates. If you don't, you're going to be seeing me again very soon, all right?
Okay.
Have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
Can you tell me your name, sir? Tell me your name.
Christopher Oneski.
What happened, Mr. Gendon?
Bonded, Your Honor.
Mr. Odesky, you're here in 2021 CT 350AE on charge of driving under the influence. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. Did we get all this stuff back, his fingerprints back and everything? All right, Mr. Was it Oneski?
Yes, Your Honor.
Zoniski, I'm going to release you on pretrial release in this case. Conditions of your pretrial release, you're not allowed to possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you 30 days before any narcotics test happens, but the alcohol testing will resume immediately. You may not operate a motor vehicle in the state of Florida without a valid driver's license. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, have a great day, sir. Can you tell me your name, sir?
John Giovanni Reyes, Figueroa.
All right, what happened? Did Poron bond?
You bonded, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Rivera Figueroa, you are here in 2021 CT 2344AL on charge of no motorcycle endorsement. I reviewed the charging affidavit. I did find probable cause for your arrest. State, did you want to resolve both his cases?
Your Honor, I only currently have one, but I did come up with an offer for that one case, and it was an adjudication credit time served.
As to which,
The no motor vehicle, or the no motorcycle
well, they're
license?
both no motorcycle endorsement cases. So the first one is the case he's here for is 2021 CT 2344AO.
Yes, Your Honor, that one.
In that case, is no motorcycle endorsement, and then just last month in February, he was arrested and bonded out on another motorcycle endorsement case. He has a pay theft NTA case, if you want to resolve those three cases.
1 second, Your Honor. Your Honor, I don't have the other motorcycle license in my system yet, I don't believe, so all I'm prepared to resolve today is the one that's before the court. Your Honor, in the petty theft case, the 20 8113, it looks like he was in PTD.
I can't hear you.
In the petty theft 8113 case, it looks like he accepted PTD and was referred to PTD back in December.
Well, you guys got new rules, so you picked up two new cases since then, so I don't know.
It may or may not kick him out, I'm not sure, so I'm not prepared to
Okay.
convey an offer on that case.
All right, Ms. George, will you tell me this?
No motor vehicle license he got on it. I mean, he's in here for right now. We're just wanted to know if you would take no action on his out on bond.
I mean, does it really make, I guess my question is,
Offering, but
I was gonna just give him concurrent offers as to both
that's
cases.
what I was trying
Yeah.
to, do, but I didn't know if you were gonna.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. So,
She has hydrocephalus, like, I know it doesn't matter.
Yeah, my thing is, you can resolve your cases if you want to, that's a choice you wanna make. I just wanna make sure that's what you wanna do.
Your Honor, he has a third no motorcycle license case as well.
Another motorcycle case, the third one?
Third, 21 CT 298W. And that one, it looks like it's a sentencing is set in April.
AW?
21 CT 298AW.
So 29,
298AW.
is it AA or AW?
AW.
All right, so it's 2021 CT 29AW. All right, he has a sentence, he already pleaded that case?
It looks like all I see on my system is sentencing is set in April. So I'm not sure. But
Did you have another case that you pled to and you waiting sentencing?
I
I have something in Georgia, but I don't think that has anything.
It's not the same person? 2021 CT 29 AW.
298 AW.
298 AW. Okay, that's all I was trying to get. As I heard something before the AW. So 2021.
That was it. That's the only.
Yeah, John Rivas Figueroa.
Figueroa.
All right. So you got 3 cases for riding his motorcycle while taking the class. Well, my question is, he already pled to that case. I'm not going to go to a plea colloquy. I'll just sentence him. It's like you took a plea and you're supposed to come back with the license, or?
Your Honor, yes, that's what was supposed to happen. My client went, but he didn't have enough money to pay for the license. So from what I'm being told, he got his unemployment, which is what he's going to use to pay for the license.
Did you already take the class, at least?
Thursday and Friday, I take it, and I'll get it. I'll send you whatever I have to do.
Well, right now,
Your
I'm
Honor,
willing to resolve all your cases.
if he's likely going to take this, it's likely that the downtown ASA will dismiss them if he comes to court with a valid endorsement. So I don't know if he wants to please all 3 today.
Well, I guess the 298 AW case, what division is that in?
298 is an 84 with Judge Jewett.
84?
84.
Or Judge Jewett? All right, can we get Mr. Judge Jewett all of his cases so he's not running from judge to judge, trying to get the same resolution? 'Cause I know what happens downtown, so.
I can put it in notes to have ASAs transfer it, but
Well, I was going to transfer it.
that works.
Transfer both the cases, 2021 CT 2344 AO and 2021 CT 901 AO to Judge Jewett, Division 84.
I'm not saying that's definitely what will happen, but it's likely. It's often what the county court ASAs do.
Unless,
My client would like, if possible, if he can accept the state's offer today and then bring his the proof, which is what he was supposed to do anyway for his out on bond case.
yeah, I'm quite sure the agreement that Judge Jewett made with you, like he did pretty much every judge I've ever seen and been in front of, is that you weren't supposed to violate the law between the time that you took that plea and the sentencing that he imposed. So I'm gonna give him the option to deal with all of that on the day of your sentencing in April. Now, you're getting your license will maybe mitigate that situation, but I can't guarantee what the resolution is gonna be with Judge Jewett in your other 2 cases. But you may get a sweetheart deal where they dismiss 2 cases and you may have to just deal with the 1 case. I don't know. So I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna take any pleas from you in this today. I'm going to stay your bond in this case. The amount was at 500. And then we're not gonna take any action on your out on bond case. But Mr. Rivas, you gotta get off this bike, man. I'm just saying, I don't know what's going on. I don't want you to, don't talk about the facts of your case, but this is gonna cause you a lot of heartache until you can get the proper licensing for this bike, all right?
I'll get rid of it Monday.
Whatever you gotta do something, because stop getting arrested for this. All right?
Go get a car.
All right, have a great day, sir.
God bless you.
All right, this is Juan Rivas, that's why I think you're confused. I have Juan Rivas next. You're asking about, okay. All right, sir, can you tell me your name? Tell me your name.
Hi.
You sleeping?
Apparently.
What time is it, 12, right? Oh, it's 12:30? All right, I'll see you later, sir. We'll see him at 1, after 1. I'll get to him sometime later today. I didn't say it was your fault. All right, sir, tell me your name.
Kevin Smith.
Mr. Smith, you're here in 2021 CT 1975 AO on a charge, failure to appear warrant. The judge in that case set your bond amount of $2,000. Bonds remaining $2,000 in that case. I think that's the only thing I was seeing him on a probation case, right? Just that.
I was trying to understand how would I get a failure to appear if I've been in jail?
I'm not sure. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you. You seem like you're on probation, so I don't want you to possibly resolve your case. So,
I talked to my PO as well. He said it was an error.
yeah. All right. Have a great day, sir. All right, we're going to take a 15-minute little recess. I need to refill my water, and we'll be back. Yeah. You need me to do something before? I'm not taking any action on his other cases. I'm just transferring them all to Judge Jewett, and then he can deal with him in April.
Yeah.
Once they get in here.
All right, everybody got a seat.
No, you can't.
Ms. McDuffie, my next person? You guys go. Okay.
McDuffie bonded?
No, I'm asking who's my next person here. I have McDuffie is. What do you want to call?
I was looking at 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, that little Spanish man, give me 1 o'clock here, but.
It's not 1 o'clock yet. It's only, you got 2 more minutes. You got 2 more minutes before we start. So,
We're gonna be a few more minutes before they bring him in here. Oh.
That clock is fast, one. So I think we only, it's 12:56. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name? Your name.
Alton McDuffie.
Mr. McDuffie, here in 2021 MM 2084AO on a charge of petty theft.
Yes, sir.
I did review the charging affidavit in this case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. State, was there an offer to resolve this case today?
Not at this time, Your Honor. I believe it's enhanceable.
All right. All right, so I'm going to release you on pretrial release in this case. Conditions of your pretrial release that you not return to the scene of this location, not have any contact with any victims or witnesses. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, have a great day.
All right, good. What did I do with this?
All right. This is 2021 MM 2093AO. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Mickens.
We'll waive.
All right, do you want me to give him another shot and try to bring him back tomorrow?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So I'll reset him for tomorrow for initial appearances to see if he can resolve his case tomorrow. Mickens. No, he's behavior. Monday, tomorrow. Yeah.
Saturday?
Hope we can get him out of here tomorrow. All right, this is Mr. Askew and 2021 MO 366 AO.
We'll waive, Your Honor, and I just ask that you set it for tomorrow.
Appointed public defender who try to see if he's all right tomorrow to speak to our weekend judge. All right, sir, tell me your name.
Rudell M. Bryce, Jr.
Mr. Bryce, you're here in 2021 CF 3357 AO on charge of neglect of a child. I did review, I think there was a warrant. No. Yep. The judge signing a warrant in this case has already found probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case amount $10,000. Additionally, the bond that you have no contact with the victim in this case, and you comply with any DCF case plan. In 2020 CF 456 AO in Santa Rosa County, you're on probation. There's been a violation of probation affidavit submitted. And they're going to hold you at no bond as to that charge, as to that case. Have a great day, sir. All right, tell me your name, sir.
Intro Bryant.
All right, so Brian, you got quite a few things happening right here. You have 2021 CT 449 AO. You're arrested for a charge of driver license suspended. I did review the charging affidavit. In that case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. You all was arrested in 2021 MM 2085 AO on a charge of resisting an officer without violence. I reviewed that charging affidavit. In that case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. You have a failure to appear warrant in 2020 CF 7688 AO, and the judge signed that warrant, set your bond at $500. You have a failure to appear warrant from Flagler County in 2019 MM 1046. The judge in that case set your bond at $2,500. And you also have a failure to appear warrant from Clay County 2020 CF 952 AO for failure to appear. The judge set your bond at $0. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in all your cases. But there was an offer to resolve the Orange County cases. Well, the misdemeanor cases, at least.
So I got bond for the two charges.
You got bond for, I haven't set bond on the cases you're arrested on.
Okay.
You have 3 failure to appear warrants. You have bond on 2 of them and none on 1. But you have the 2 charges you're arrested on. I'm trying to see if the state of Florida is going to make an offer to resolve the cases you're arrested for, like the other day.
Your Honor, an adjudication on the resisting without and a withhold on the Willis.
It's like he has a prior driver license suspended, at least on the history I'm looking at.
I don't see anything in our system, which is what I was going off of. Give me 1 second. Due to him having a prior conviction on a Dwellis and adjudication also on the Dwellis.
So, Mr. Bryant, if you want to resolve the cases that you were arrested for the other day, you can resolve them today with adjudication of guilt, credit time served. There's going to be court costs and cost of prosecution in each case if you want to do that today.
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and none but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, sir, you're here in 2021 CT 449 AO on a charge, AW, on a charge of driver license suspended. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. You're also here in 2021 MM 2085 AO on a charge of resisting an officer without violence. That is a first-degree misdemeanor. That's punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to enter pleas of guilty or no contest to resolve your cases today?
Yes.
Guilty or no contest?
No, guilty. I guess.
All right.
Guilty.
Yeah, can you cover your nose for me? There you go. Do you understand by entering a plea of guilty to these charges, you give up the right to have a trial where the state will have to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt?
All right. Yes.
Do you understand you give up the right to have an attorney appointed to represent you if you cannot afford it?
Yes.
At that trials, you can challenge the state's evidence. You can question the state's witnesses and call witnesses on your behalf. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If there's a witness you want to call and that witness did not want to appear, the court can use subpoena power to make that witness appear. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to remain silent as to these two charges?
Yes.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to appeal any errors in this case except the court's jurisdiction over you and the sentence I'm going to impose?
Yes.
Do you understand that this, in the driver license suspended case, that charge, if you can be used as an enhancement to your sentencing up to a third-degree felony if you're convicted for a third or subsequent offense?
For a third offense of driving?
Yep, so if you get 3 charges, depending on if you have some other history, you can be charged as a third-degree felony.
Okay.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Do you understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation?
Yes, sir.
I did have an opportunity to review the charging affidavits in both your cases. I do find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I'll accept your plea of no contest in both cases. I'll start my sentencing in 2021 CT 499AW, and in that case, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty of the charge. I'm going to give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court calls the cost of prosecution in that case at $306. You also have 2021 MM 2085AO. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty as to that charge. I'll give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court calls the cost of prosecution in that case at $273. I'm going to combine these costs for payment. I'm going to give you 2 years from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, have a great day, sir.
All right. So I want to just.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Elizabeth Choi.
Ms. Choi, you're here in 2021 CF 2936AO on a charge of aggravated child abuse. The judge signing your warrant in this case has already found probable cause for your arrest. They set your bond in this case an amount of $2,500. Condition of your bond that you are to comply with any DCF case plan that is in place, that you are to have no unsupervised contact with the victim in this case. Say, are you asking for any other conditions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you, ma'am. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Tell me your name, sir.
Junior DeRosier.
Mr. Rozier, you're here in 2021 CF 13657AO on a failure to appear warrant. The judge signing your warrant set your bond amount of $2,000. You're also here in 2021 MM 2086AO on charge of resisting officer without violence. You're also here in 2021 MM 2087AO on charge of resisting officer without violence. And there's another kind of duplicate charge case that came in to yesterday. So I found PC for one, but
It's 2 different officers, Your Honor.
yeah, the law says you get one shot for one instance. It's per instance, not the number of officers. That's literally what the jury instruction says.
The offer for one is an adjudication credit time served, and we ask for an ROR on the other.
All right. Mr. DeRosa, the offer from the state of Florida to resolve one of your cases in adjudication of guilt credit time served, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance as to the other misdemeanor case. Do you want to accept one of the offer from the state of Florida?
Sorry, sir.
Do you want to accept the offer from the state of Florida?
Sir.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, none but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2021 MM 2086AO on a charge of resisting officer without violence. That is a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Sir.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case today?
No contest.
Do you understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to give up certain constitutional rights?
Sir.
One of those rights you're going to give up is the right to have a trial where the state will have to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand that?
Sir.
You understand you give up the right to have an attorney represent you if you cannot afford it?
Sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Do you understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation?
Sir.
I did have an opportunity to review the charging affidavit in that case and then did find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I'll accept your plea of no contest, find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'll adjudicate you guilty of the charge. I'll give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court costs and costs of prosecution in this case are $273. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. As the 2021 MM 2087 AO, the court is going to release you on your own recognizance as to that case. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Tell me your name.
Rod Otis Desso Jr.
Sir, you're here in 2020 CF 15141 AO on a failure to appear warrant. The judge signing your warrant sets your bond at $0. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Have a great day, sir.
Your Honor, that was 1,000?
No, the warrants, did I read it wrong? This, I said $0.
Okay.
So there wouldn't be a bond, you wouldn't be able to appoint me a bond at all?
Not today, sir. You got to talk to the judge that signed the warrant.
And what's the judge's name is that?
What division is this? It looks like Judge Strobridge.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yep. Hello, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Joseph Holden.
Mr. Holden, you're here in 2021 CF 3496AO on a charge of trafficking in methamphetamine of 28 grams or more, possession of methamphetamine with intent to sell and deliver, possession of MDMA or ecstasy with intent to sell or deliver, possession of cannabis with intent to sell and deliver, and sell and delivery of fentanyl, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I did review the charging affidavit in your cases, and I did find probable cause for your arrest. I want to state your bond in count one, amount of $100,000, count two, $15,000, count three, $150, count four, $150, count five, $10,000, count six, $100. Condition of your bond, not possessing any drugs, alcohol without valid prescription. I make a condition of your bond if you use a bondsman that he's satisfied for the statute 903.046 sub 2 sub F, that the money that he used to bond out is not derived from the sale or from the sale or distribution of narcotics or any illicit other activity. You must submit an affidavit to the court before you're allowed to bond out. Have a great day, sir. All right. 046, yes. Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Nikita Jackson.
Ms. Jackson, you're here in 2021 CF 3479 AO on charges of possession of methamphetamine, possession of Xanax, possession of cannabis, and resisting officer without violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case, and I did find probable cause for your arrest. I want to state your bonds in this case in the amount of $1,000, $150, $100, and $100. Condition of your bond is you're not allowed to possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're out on bond in 2021 CF 1525AO, and also in 2021 CF 1733AO. In those cases, I'm going to revoke those bonds. I'm going to set new bonds at $0. Want to appoint a public defender to represent you in all your
So
cases,
I can't bond out now?
not as to the old cases.
Can I get a bond on the old cases?
No, ma'am.
So
You can get in front of your division judge and see if there's any release conditions they feel comfortable with, but we had this conversation not too long ago.
Yes, sir. But they towed my car.
All right, cover your face.
Sorry.
All right,
You said I have to do what for the previous cases, though?
you gotta go talk to the division judge and see if they have some release conditions that they feel comfortable with releasing you on.
You can't give me a release condition?
No, ma'am. Have a great day. All right, I had Jenkins bonded.
Funded.
All right, sir, tell me your name.
Jim Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, you're here in 2021 CF 3487AO on charges of possession of cocaine with a weapon, open carry of a weapon or firearm, and possession of drug paraphernalia. The court found probable cause as to count 1 and 3. Struggling with count 2, state.
Yes, Your Honor. Upon reading the 790.053, the open carry of weapons statute, which this charge is charged under, it does say in the statute that it is unlawful to carry it on his person, a firearm or electric weapon or device, which is, I don't believe what we have in this case. I believe the firearm was on the seat next to him.
Yeah, it was on the seat next to him. He had a concealed weapons permit as well, so.
Yes, Your Honor. We would just ask for an ROR as to that charge.
All right, so as to count 1, I'm going to set your bond in amount of $2,000. Count 2, I'm going to ROR you as this count 2. I'm going to stay your bond in count 3, the amount of $500. Condition of your bond is you're not allowed to possess any drugs, alcohol without valid prescription. Be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you 30 days before the first narcotics test happens, but the alcohol testing will resume immediately. I'll appoint a public defender to represent you. Have a great day, sir. Can you tell me your name, sir?
My name is Eugene Allen Owens.
Mr. Owens, you're here in 2021 CF 3473AO on charges of possession of synthetic cannabis and resisting an officer without violence. I did review the charging affidavit in this case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond to count 1 in the amount of $500, count 2, $100. Condition of your bond, you do not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you 30 days before any narcotics tests happen, but after that, you will be.
So what is going on now?
I reduced your bond to $500. I stayed your bond in the amount of $100. So count 2.
So
but you will be drug tested, and you can't have any drugs or narcotics you can't have any alcohol or narcotics without a valid prescription.
Yes, sir. Can I ask you a question? So with my bond being $500 for count 1 and $100 for count 2, that makes my bond $150.
Talking through a bondsman? I'm not sure. You got to talk to the bondsman if you want to bond out through a bondsman. But your monetary total bonds are $600, but you can't have any drugs, alcohol, and you'd be subject to random drug and alcohol testing.
So the amount that was $360, right, sir?
Your bond was $3,500 on count 1. I reduced it to $500.
Okay.
I stayed your bond in count 2 in the amount of $100.
Yes, sir.
Your total bond is $600.
Yes, sir.
So you can, however method you want to use to get out is up to you. All right?
Very much, sir.
Have a great day. All right, tell me your name, sir.
Bradley Pierce.
Mr. Pierce, you're here in 2020 CF 10680 on a failure to appear warrant. Judge signing your warrant says your bond is $0. Your bond's going to remain at $0. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. Let me get you on to your division judge to see if you have an appropriate bond hearing. All right, have a great day.
Thank you.
All right, I had Charles Rios responded. Yep, yep, got that. Tell me your name, sir.
My name is Adam Rinaldi.
You gotta step up, man.
Adam, want me to pull this down? No.
Yep,
Adam
sir.
Richard Rinaldi.
Mr. Ronaldo, you're here in 2020 CF 11768 AO on charge of dealing in stolen property and receiving money from a pawnbroker by false verification of identification and possession of cocaine. I'm sorry, in 2020 CF 13089 AO, you charged with possession of cocaine. I apologize. In 2020 CF 11768 AO, the judge has already signed your warrant and found probable cause. They set your bond amount of $2,500 and $150. Condition of that bond is you had no contact with any victims or witnesses or co-defendants. Is you not return to the scene of the location. Do not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Do not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be returned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not do any secondhand pawn transactions while you're out on release in this case. As the 2020 CF 13089 AO, you're charged with possession of cocaine. The judge in that case set your bond amount of $1,500. Your bond remained the same. You're not allowed to have any contact with any victims or witnesses. Return to the scene. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Let's see one thing. All right. And you may want to seriously look into drug court, my man. And take it seriously. And you gotta change. That means you gotta change everything that you got going on in your life. All the people you hang out with, your surroundings, everything. Because you just got back last summer and we're having this interaction, which is not a good sign. All right, I'm not saying you're guilty of it, but just us having this interaction is not good. All right. So you may want to look at trying to get a hold of that demon inside you, all right?
Your Honor,
I'm appointed the public defender to represent you.
are you gonna do anything with this out
Sorry,
on
I'm not
bond?
taking,
The fentanyl,
I didn't have enough
heroin?
information to see when the case happened, that he's,
That one, I believe, was July 16th of 2020.
the possession of fentanyl case?
The fentanyl and heroin, yes.
Yeah, no, that was July 16th, but I don't know
When these,
when these other, because these 2020 cases, I'm not sure.
Sir, may I talk?
No, don't do that.
understood, no action.
Yeah, I was gonna take no action on your other case, so you can bond out, but you stay out of trouble, all right?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, good afternoon, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Gwendolyn Solomon.
Ms. Solomon, you're here in 2019 CF 12305 AO for a failure to appear warrant. The judge signed your failure to appear warrant, set your bond at $0. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case and get you on to your division judge to have an appropriate bond hearing. Have a great day, ma'am.
Span Lee, he refused court.
All right, this is 2021 CF 3470 AO. I want to appoint a public defender to represent Mr. Spanny.
Will waive.
All right, he was arrested on charges of burglary of an unoccupied dwelling and trespass on a property after warning. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for his arrest. I want to state his bonds as set in the amount of $3,500 as account one, $500 as account two. May not return to the scene of the incident, cannot have any contact with any victims or witnesses. All right, ma'am, can you tell me your name?
Sharnay Williams.
All right, Ms. Williams, you're here in 2021 CF 3474 AO on a charge of burglary of a dwelling with a solid battery therein. I did review the charging affidavit in this case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. State, what are you asking me to do as to her bond amounts?
State is asking that you hold her no bond pending an Arthur hearing.
And Ms. George,
Argument.
I can't hear you.
Reserve the right.
All right. Based on these facts, I'm going to set bond in your case amount of $20,000. You're not allowed to return to the scene of this incident. You may not have any contact with any victims or witnesses. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you if I didn't already say so. May not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. All right. Have a great day, ma'am. Or you got to cover your face. All right.
Can I? I just wanted to say, if it could be lowered, I do work. I'm 19. I have my own apartment, and I can't afford to pay it because the money that I do make goes to my rent, and I have to pay out of pocket for school. My mom has bipolar depression. She's 42, and she just had a baby, and I'm the one that has to help her because she can't do it on her own. And I'm not going to be able to get out of here with this amount. Like, I have $1,000 maybe in my savings that I can give, but I won't be able to pay this because after this situation, put 7-day notice on my door, and I just won't be able to pay this. It's like high.
Your Honor, given the independent witness's account of what happened, and the statement she said the defendant made after she left the apartment, and what the independent witness saw, State again would just renew that we wanted no bond, so would object to anything being lower.
I understand. Based on the previous criminal history and the facts in this case, I was starting to hold you no bond, but this seems like you were having a bad day. But I don't know. So I'm going to say your bond amount. You can get in front of the division judge if you think you can get it reduced further. But I don't want to put you in a situation where I'm going to have to make a determination as to whether it's proof evident presumption great or anything like that, because if that happens, then you may not be able to get out. So I want to give you the opportunity to do that.
So it's going to stay here and I just call up Bill's bondsman to work with me?
Yeah, you can get the bondsman to work with you. You can bond out, but don't go back to the scene. No contact with the victim. No weapons, no firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. But if you're still here, you need to get in front of your division judge to have a full Arthur hearing. All right. Have a great day, ma'am. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Adam Miller Williams.
Ms. Williams, cover your nose and your face. Thank you. Ma'am, you're here in 2020 CF 3181AO on for a failure to appear warrant. The judge signing your warrant set your bond amount of $2,500. Your bond remains set as that. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you if you're not already appointed. I'm not going to take any action on your 2020 CF 4838AO case. Have a great day, ma'am. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Earl Young.
Mr. Young, you're here in 2021 CF 3483AO on charge of possession of cocaine. You're also here in 2021 CT 2343AO on the charge of driver license suspended. I reviewed both cases and I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to resolve the duelist case now, or?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, sir, we're going to stay your bond and do the driver license suspended case in the amount of $500. As to your possession of cocaine case, I'm going to set your bond amount of $500. Condition of your bond that you not possess any drugs or alcohol without valid prescription. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you, sir. Have a great day.
Your Honor, you said 900?
500.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Arroyo.
Mr. Arroyo, you're here in 2020 CF 2408AO for violation of probation. Court did review the charging affidavit in this case. I did review the warrant. The judge set your bond at $0. Your bonds remain at $0 as to this case. Going to appoint a public defender to represent you as to this matter.
I have a private lawyer.
You hired for your violation of probation?
Yes.
Who did you hire for your violation of probation?
To be honest, I don't know the name. My wife knows the name. My
right.
wife told me that he was supposed to be over here to come see me.
Your Honor, for the underlying case, I'm seeing Jonathan Schwartz. I don't know if he was hired for the VOP.
You hired Mr. Schwartz again?
Excuse me?
You hired Mr. Schwartz again?
As a private lawyer says?
Yep, he filed notice of appearance as to the
Well, ask
VOP.
my wife. I
All
don't
right,
know.
all right, Mr. Schwartz, my clerks are telling me Mr. Schwartz filed a notice of appearance for your violation of probation. So I won't appoint the public defender to represent you. All right, you gotta turn this around, man. 'Cause just for the record, I prosecuted him on several juvenile cases on his record.
Recognize the name?
All right, sir, can you tell me your name?
Chappelle.
Mr. Chappelle, you're here in 2018 CF 17143AO on a violation of probation. The judge signed your warrant in that case, set your bond at $0. Your bonds will remain at $0. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. It seems that you are a violent felony offender of special concern. That was attempted burglary. No, I think that counts still. And you won't be entitled to release on this case until your violation of probation is completed. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, sir, can you tell me your name?
Ricardo Correa Marin.
Mr. Correa, you're here in 2019 CF 1600AO for a violation of probation. Judge signed your warrant, set your bond at $0. Your bonds will remain at $0 in this case. This says he's a violent felony offender, but I don't know why it says that.
I don't see anything in his history that would make him qualify.
Me either. So I'm not going.
Hold on one second.
Somebody marked on my sheet of paper that you qualify as a certain type of offender, but I don't think you do, based on the information I have in front of me. So I'm not going to tell you about that. All right, have a great day, sir.
PD appointed?
Yeah, PD's appointed. All right. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Brandon Davis.
Mr. Davis, you're here in 2020 CF 8223AO for violation of probation. Judge signed your warrant in that case, set your bond at $0. So you're a violent felony offender of special concern. You won't be entitled to release on your case until your violation of probation is completed. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. Have a great day, sir.
I was wondering, was it possible that, can I take house arrest so I can be home and take care of?
No, sir. Since you're a violent felony offender of special concern, that's why I just told you that. You don't qualify for any type of bail or release until your violation of probation is completed. So the law says you cannot be released.
So how long would that be?
You got to work with your public defender. You probably see Judge Lattimore soon for a violation for arraignment and work it out. Maybe to work it out there. I don't know, but you got to get the violation probation over with first. All right, tell me your name, sir.
Eugene Harris, sir.
Mr. Harris, you're here in 2016 CF 1644AO for violation of probation. Judge signed your warrant in that case, set your bond at $0. So you're a violent felony offender of special concern. You won't be entitled to release on your case until your violation of probation is completed. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you as to that case. Have a great day, sir.
Yes, sir.
I know he doesn't qualify, but he's not getting out, so I don't know. So, hello, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Marquise Lamar, DeAndre Lamont.
Mr. Lamont, you're here in 2018 CF 17256AO for violation of probation. The judge signing your warrant in that case sets your bond at $0. Your bond's gonna remain at $0 in that case. There's another one that says, well, I see it now.
I believe he also has a federal detainer for GPS.
All right. And it looks like you also have a hold from the U.S. government for some kind of GPS situation.
That should be off in a few minutes because the day my release date on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see them in a minute. But you, on your violation of probation, you're still going to be held, all right? So I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you as to this case.
Nah, I hired an attorney already.
Who'd you hire?
Francis Blankner, I'm sorry. Francis Blankner Jr.
All right, Bucky Blankner?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did he file notice of appearance? For Mr. Lamont's case? All right. So you hired Mr. Was it Kendall and Blankner, I think that's what they call themselves now?
Yeah.
But they haven't filed notice of appearance yet. So I don't want you sitting here without any representation. So I'm gonna keep the public defender on your case for now, and then they can withdraw later on if, once Mr. Blankner files his notice of appearance, all right?
Okay.
All right, have a great day, sir. All right, ma'am, can you tell me your name?
Latonya Oliver.
Ms. Oliver, you're here in 2019 CF 4810AO for violation of probation. The judge signing your warrant sets your bond at $0. In that case, your bonds will remain at $0. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. I'm not taking any action on your out-on bond cases in 2020 MM 662AW and 2020 MM 6342AO.
What happened?
He's not taking any action on the out on bond charges.
It's got to deal with the violation of probation. And speak with your public defender. All right, have a great day, ma'am. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Kenneth Patterson.
Mr. Patterson, you're here in two matters. The first one is 2021 CF 3497AO for a charge of possession of controlled substance. I reviewed the charging affidavit. In that case, I did find a probable cause for your arrest as to the charge. You're going to stay your bond in that case amount of $1,000. Conditionally, your bond not allowed to possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're out on bond in 2018 CF 1556AO for a violation of probation. The judge signing your warrant in that case set your bond at $0. You are a violent felony offender of special concern, sir. You're not going to be entitled to release on this case until your violation of probation is completed. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in all your cases.
Yes.
Have a great day, sir. Have a great day. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Hector Andres Rosa Padilla.
Mr. Rosa Padilla, you're here in 2020 CF 7116AO on a charge of violation of probation. You're also here in 2021 CF 3467AO on a charge of possession of heroin. As to your violation of probation, the judge signing your warrant set your bond in the amount of $0. In that case, you're a violent felony offender of special concern. You're not going to be entitled to release on that case until your violation of probation is completed. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in that case. As to the 2021 CF 3467AO, I want to set your bond in that amount of case to the amount of $1,000. Conditioning your bond not allowed to possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in that case as well. Have a great day, sir. All right, tell me your name, ma'am. Ms. Reynolds, you're here in you're for an out-of-county case in 2019 CF 335, case out of Lake County, There's a failure to appear warrant issued by them. They're setting your bond at $0. Your bond's gonna remain at $0. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you while you're here in my custody, and hopefully we get you to Lake County as soon as we can. Have a great day.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Laura Royal, State Certified Interpreter, already previously sworn.
Good afternoon, Mr. Royal. I'm here in the BRC. I need your help with one defendant. He already has the headsets on. Can you see if you make a connection?
Yes, Your Honor.
See.
Connection is established.
All right, sir, you're here in 2021 CT 2333 for a charge of no valid driver's license. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. States there an offer to resolve his case?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication and credit time served.
Mr. Reyes, do you want to accept the offer of adjudication of guilt, credit time served?
¿Cómo? No entiendo.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Do you want to accept the offer from the state of Florida to resolve your case today with an adjudication of guilt, credit time served?
¿Quedarme aquí o puedo ser fiado?
Would I have to stay here or will I be allowed to be bonded out?
Your Honor, he's already out on ROR and PTR.
That's what I'm thinking, but
So since he doesn't understand what's happening, state would object to him being released to ROR.
I wasn't going to release him ROR. That wasn't going to happen. But I guess, did I do this while he's on ROR and PTR? No, I was for his PTR, is he being drug tested?
Ok. Porque yo tengo que trabajar. Ajá.
I have to work.
No, que yo tengo que trabajar.
That's fine, but
Empecé
sir,
ayer a trabajar, pero no podía, porque me arrestaron. Que yo tenía que trabajar ayer y no pude trabajar. Estoy empezando ahora a arreglar lo de mi licencia.
Madam Interpreter, can you please advise the client not to talk about the facts of the case? Everything is being recorded and can be used against him later.
Your Honor, would you like the interpretation? It wasn't regarding the fact.
no, ma'am.
Okay.
Mr. Reyes, I will need you to understand I'm trying to understand what you want to do. Do you want to resolve your case about the driving case? I wasn't going to take any action on your cocaine case because I haven't got a report that you've been testing positive. However, your need to work, your need to abide by the law need to coincide together. So you need to find a way to either become a valid driver, get somebody else to drive with a valid driver's license, because this is just a circle that's never ending if you keep getting caught driving without a license. The question I have for you is that you want to resolve the driving case today.
Sí. Sí.
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Sí.
Yes.
You put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2021 CT 2333 AO on a charge of no valid driver's license. That is a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case with me today?
¿Puedo ser fiado hoy o no?
Will I be bonded out today or what?
You don't have to post a bond because your case will be resolved. Do you want to resolve the case or not?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest?
No me opongo.
No contest.
Do you understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to give up certain constitutional rights?
No entiendo muy bien. Yo no entiendo muy bien.
I'm sorry, the interpreter needs to verify.
Que no entiendo muy bien cómo.
I'm not understanding very well.
What are you not understanding?
Porque si puedo ser fiado hoy o no, porque yo tengo mi mamá que atender, yo tengo mi mamá enferma, diabetes, 80 y pico de años, y yo sé que brego con ella.
I want to know if I'm going to be bonded out today or not because I have a mom to take care of. She's sick, she's diabetic, and she's above 80 years old.
Your Honor, we would just ask that you set a bond. I think he's gonna need more time with someone in our office that speaks Spanish. I'm not sure he's understanding what's going on.
All right. All right, sir, I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $1,000, conditioning your bond not able to operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. I'm not going to take any action on your out on bond cases, but you need to not operate a motor vehicle, and you need not to be in possession or use any controlled substances. Do you understand?
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Everybody have a great day.
Gracias.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Madam Interpreter.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
All right, does anybody have anything else?
I spoke to him.
You guys have to sign this if I didn't take any action?
That's what, I had a whole.
I'm doing the last one.
He didn't want.
Give me an action of no action. You want to write in no action or I'm sorry, oops. That case is issued. That's the one we're gonna choose.
All right, Ms. George.
This is the last year the KPS. All right, I apologize. All right. We have anything else for the better of the order?
No, Your Honor.
Does everybody understand what we're gonna do about the plea forms?
You got it worked out, Your Honor.
We got it worked out. We're gonna be okay next week.
I believe so.
Because I'm gonna lose my voice up here.
I'll definitely
in a
do
minute.
my part.
He gave it to you.
Oh, that's what. Oh, I'm doing my part.
There you go.
I thought you.